Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Corona Relief Done Quick. Next up, we have Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Critical Mode Any Percent run by Ninten866. My name is Sakura Tsubasa, and I'll be your host for this last run of the evening. I hope you guys are as excited about it as I am. But before then, let's take a quick talk about the charity. Direct Relief's COVID-19 coronavirus efforts are focused on the personal protective equipment, masks, gowns, gloves, etc. that are most needed across the world. In addition to providing PPE, Direct Relief is supporting U.S. community clinics and health centers with chronic disease medications to make sure that people living with these conditions do not go into acute crisis as a result of the surge of people needing medical care due to COVID-19. Direct Relief is ramping up efforts to provide the prescription medications and medical resources needed for the most severe cases that require hospitalization and ICU care. You can learn more about Direct Relief's ongoing efforts related to COVID-19 at www.directrelief.org/emergency/coronavirus-outbreak. We have a Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Level 1 Critical Sephiroth incentive that needs to be met before the end of the run if you want to see this. Now this is going to be a super cool showcase of some amazing skill from the runner. We have about 63, actually less than that. We have about just over 60,000 to go in order to see it. Also, if we meet this incentive, we will be so close to 400,000. And I believe in us. I believe in chat. Speaking of donations, we have a $50 donation from Dig850, which reads, "We need to hit at least 375,000 people. Let's kick this off with a $5 donation train. I'll get us started with 10 $5 donations. Thank you, GDQ, and thank you, Direct Relief." We have a $100 donation from Buttermochi that reads, "I'm so excited GDQ is closing with my favorite series, Kingdom Hearts. So thankful we don't have to find any ingredients this time. Let's kill Sephiroth." And looks like we are ready for our final run of the evening. Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Critical Mode Any Percent. Here is Ninten866, or 866, sorry. like we are having some minor technical difficulties, so I will continue reading you some donations. We have a $5 donation from Lemel KH2. Hopefully I said that correctly. Hey Ninten, as your best channel mod, I wish you all the best luck. Thanks again for representing our community so well, and thanks again GDQ for doing so good in our community as well. Stay safe, everyone. We have a $25 donation from Ghost Princess, which reads, I could really go for some sea salt ice cream right now, but I'll stay inside instead. Stay kind, stay safe, everyone. We also have a $25 donation from Pistol Pete, which reads, Hey Ninten, Pistol Pete here. Congrats on being the finale for CRDQ. Good luck with the run. This goes towards level 1 Sephiroth. And with that, looks like now we are officially ready for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Critical Mode Any Percent, run by Ninten866. Take it away.
Hey everyone, I am Ninten866, and we have here Hobbs and Spike Vegeta.
Hello.
I'm all ready for the countdown. We all good?
All right, it's right up to you. You go ahead.
All right, cool. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, a favorite of mine and Hobbs. We always love to get to commentate this. And Ninten, one of the best Kingdom Hearts speedrunners in the world, of really the whole series. But KH2 really kind of your bread and butter. So with that, we go into the tutorial section. We got the Roxas segment of the run here. It's almost like a semi-tutorial segment, this opening 16 minutes, but it's got a lot of strats and a lot of specificities to it, and very possible to die. We are on the critical mode difficulty. Hobbs, do you want to explain for the crowd what critical mode entails?
Yeah, so critical mode is the hardest difficulty of this game. It basically means that you are going to take 4 damage from every hit, like from all the enemies and stuff like that, but you're also actually going to deal more damage. I believe it is 125% damage that you will end up dealing to the enemies, which is super neat. It's a lot more interesting than a lot of just hard difficulties. And the other thing is that you also start off with a bunch of extra abilities and 58 to equip them, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, you saw back there with that Cypher fight, already a lot of specificity going on right there. Nintendo's actually doing RNG manipulation. It's really the only instance of RNG manipulation in the run, but it's actually manipulating this Dusk right here to kill us faster. We're on critical mode. This always proves it right here. Yep, he did. All right, that's a lot faster than trying to deal all the hits needed. But now we have a Kingdom Key with us. We're gonna be able to knock out this enemy in 1, 2, jump for 1 more, and then a 1, 2, 3 to take it out. Reason why Ninten didn't want to finish those combos, even though finishers are stronger, generally here in the early part of the game, about 1.5 times stronger than a regular hit. It's the same amount of hits either way, and finishers, in addition to doing more damage, will also knock a Dusk further away from you, so we'd have had to track it down and take it out. So instead, Ninten just decided to land and sort of reset that aerial combo and basically keep it in a stun lock.
Yeah, we don't want to hit the Dusks with any finishers unless it's the finishing blow, pretty much.
Yeah, seeing him go flying is not super fun, but now we have the mail delivery minigame. This is basically just to get a certain amount of money. Once you get enough money, you can progress the story. Your friends want you to collect money for, you know, school reasons. It's a fun trip or something. I don't know. It's been so long, man. You just get the money and you go. It's fun.
Now, Ninten, I have to ask you, when you first played this as a kid, were you as dumb as the rest of us and did like all the, you got like 1,600 money or so?
Yeah, they like give you a goal, I think, and you have to, like, most people will try to get as much money as they tell you to get, but you only need to do 1 job.
Yeah, thankfully, and that is obviously by far about a 7-second mission right there. So now we have another Dusk. This one is also semi-manipulated. There's one of 2 patterns Ninten knows he's going to give him. It's actually going to be faster here, instead of taking a death, to get in 10 hits on the Dusk. So he knew which pattern to recognize which pattern that was, and then get in the hits, creating that spacing he needed. And then there, picking up the shield. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, picks up that shield because that is going to actually affect the order in which Ninten will unlock abilities throughout this run by level up. So some things you actually get from defeating specific bosses, like you get certain health upgrades at certain points and stuff like that. But abilities are often unlocked by level up, and picking the shield will get him some crucial defensive abilities that are actually going to be very useful throughout this critical mode run.
Yeah, and right here, Hobbs brought up again, we are in critical mode. Another check for it is all these bonus abilities the game is giving you right here. Aerial recovery, you're already going to have reaction boost right there. 2 Lucky Luckies draw, reaction boost. We'll be talking about all of what these are kind of throughout the run as they pertain to the different strategies. But again, and it's nice that we get to start with those bonus 50 AP. If you're running on a lower difficulty, a lot of them will pick up AP ups throughout the run, so you can have all those different abilities equipped. But just with good menuing, we can keep all the fights optimal and keep on all the abilities we need.
Yeah, and I didn't put on the Lucky Luckies there because you can put them on to get like extra ethers if you're lucky, but I just choose not to because it's not really that important.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing. Yeah, I was about to say, saving those frames.
Yeah.
Let's say, how tight do you feel in the ether routing in this run?
It's not very tight. No, like you can probably use like maybe 4 or 5 spare, so we don't need to worry about it.
All right, we have the Twilight Thorn fight going on here now. This is your introduction to reaction commands in this game. If you've never played a Kingdom Hearts game or you haven't really watched much of it, Kingdom Hearts 2 introduced these reaction commands where basically certain bosses and certain enemies can prompt you with the chance to do a fun, unique little thing that is super fun and sometimes slow. So in this game, or in this fight particularly, they are introducing you to all of these. You have to do quite a few of them. But ideally, with some well-placed combos, Ninten's going to be able to skip having to do a second phase in this fight entirely.
Yeah, it's going to be going for 4 full air combos here. Well, not full, 3 hit air combos.
Ooh, got
he
the
can
extra
get a bonus hit, getting that swag. Yeah, very nice. It doesn't actually affect the fight, but you know you're really good at matching at that point.
Actually, it does save me a combo here.
Oh, it actually does save a combo. Oh, okay. Oh, very nice manipulation there with the creepers as well. Able to knock both of them away there on that combo. Now he's going to know how to react to the rest of these attacks. Going to be able to get in one more. Oh, I see how that saves a combo.
Nice.
It does save a combo. For a long time, that was just swag. Old man over here. I didn't know you guys have... 2020 Kingdom Hearts 2 is still getting strats. Love it.
Yeah, the main thing, too, is why that's can save an entire combo, even though it's like 1 extra hit of damage, is that all of the bosses in this game have to be finished off with either a finisher or something that behaves like a finisher for the purposes of finishing off bosses, which is generally magic. So even though maybe the boss would only have 1 extra health left, you would still have to do a full combo to get to the finisher. So it's actually really crucial whenever you can cut out just little bits of health if it brings you all the way 1 combo less. But we got some struggle fights going on now.
Yeah, about to say, Roxas in a little mini tournament right now, getting 45 seconds left on the clock. Pretty good right there against Hainer. This is really where that draw ability we got from being on critical mode is coming into play, just allowing us to draw in all these different orbs in this fight, but also stuff like HP orbs, MP bubbles, and other stuff later on in the run. So, gonna be using it again here on Vivi. We're actually going to force a retaliating hit on him. He knows he's going to retaliate here, but that draw is so powerful, he'll be able to recollect all of those orbs basically immediately.
You can actually completely, block that hit and not take the hit at all. But when the game moved from 30 to 60 FPS, it made some things a little bit tighter, and that was one of them that got a little weird. So it actually ends up being more consistent to just take the hit and immediately use the ability to recover, named Aerial Recovery. But we have a few more Dusks here to fight before we're going to have a little showdown with Axel.
Yeah, so the PS4 version of this game, like the 60 FPS really changed the physics a little bit, and like it's not very easy to notice it casually, but speedrunners definitely pay attention to it.
All right, so we get the sidestep here on Axel. We want to get off 3 full air combos. They have to be dropping to the ground almost immediately, guarding that attack, and then timing your finisher of the 4th combo to stun him and then stun loop him into the full 6 air combo kill. So very nicely done there by Ninten. It might look like you're just doing a bunch of air combos, but I'll tell you guys right now as we go into the rest of this run, there is so much specificity all throughout this run. I've already said that word like 12 times, but it's because it is a theme theme of this run. If you go in and you just feel like you can jump and attack stuff, it ain't gonna work half the time.
Ninten with some first-person strats here because you actually do want to lose this fight. Not only is it drastically faster to lose this fight on critical mode since you die in 4 hits, but it actually also gets you a strength medal. So even on beginner mode where it takes quite a bit longer to die, you still take a death in that fight.
So here we are on day 5 of our summer, the end of our summer vacation. I almost said the full summer vacation. I was like, that's a really sucky summer.
Yeah.
That's 6 days, we in and out. But yeah, he'll be equipping the medal, also turning off all summon animations. We'll be using quite a few summons throughout the rest of the run. Also equipping scans so we actually know how much health the enemies have. You might always watch runs like these and think like, oh, well, is it actually really necessary that we have scan on? It costs only a second, and there are a lot of times we do want to know specifically where those HP gates are so we know how to react to different phases of different fights.
Yeah, especially if you take a hit somewhere or, you know, something goes off the rails a little bit, it's better to know when you can decide, okay, I'm going to use one more combo to finish the boss, then I'm going to lose 8 seconds because I'm going to back off and heal because I'm worried about dying. It actually comes into play even more on critical than on beginner, but even there as well. Scan is just a super useful ability, and in my opinion, it's a lot nicer for the audience too, so.
Yeah, I very much prefer it to be on. So here we got the VD clones fight. So 3 can be spawned in kind of at a time here at the beginning. He wants to kill them as they either spawn in or they kind of land. So that last one trolling Ninten just a little bit, but overall solid VV clones fight. That fight could actually lose you a fair amount of time right there, easy 10 seconds. If all of a sudden you start getting chained from the different hits keeping you juggled.
Ninten was just showing how easy it is to whiff a hit if your prediction is incorrect.
Yeah,
or
I was gonna say that like it's like Roxas did that stab attack right there, and it's kind of hard to like make Roxas do the right attacks that you want him to do, since it's kind of hard to manipulate it.
Yeah, it's all based on spacing. Roxas, the first 2 hits of his ground combos are always going to be an overhead hit and then sort of a lunge attack. And based on if you're further away, he'll start with the lunge and then go vice versa if he's closer to the enemy. So that's some of the kind of movement manipulation in a way that you're doing to try to get Roxas to do the attacks we want.
The Shadow Roxas fight there, a little bit obnoxious because Roxas actually is pretty short, has a pretty short hitbox, and it can be really tough to do air combos on him, and air combos are faster in general in this game, like Spike was talking about before, but going for them on something like Shadow Roxas is actually very, very difficult. Ninten, just being a mad lad, decided I'm going for it. We're gonna do that. We gotta save all the time.
It's a common theme in Kingdom Hearts speedrunning, especially I would say for the first couple of Kingdom Hearts games, where air combos are generally better, at least here for KH2 in the beginning, because as soon as you land from your attack animation, that's gonna reset the animation, so cutting out all that lag, and then you can jump and start up another combo. So it's inevitable that all the top Kingdom Hearts speedrunners, so not me, will be trying to maximize their amount of time in the air doing those combos. So that bag minigame, there's nothing to say. You press triangle, it eventually ends. I want to kick it over for some donations from Sakura, as Nintendo's just kind of advancing the plot right here. But I do want to say that we have been pressured to do some Disney songs, and I know Hobbs is already set up to do a certain Disney song. I'll let him decide whenever he wants to say that. I'll do my own Disney song. I will sing Under the Sea for you guys. If we can get to $350,000 before the end of one of these gummy missions, the next available gummy mission, I will jump in with that. Again, though, Hobbs has already got one queued up for you guys. But with that, Sakura, read us a couple donations while Nintendo's moving the plot along.
Absolutely. We got a $5,000 donation from the Yeti.
Let's go. All right.
Hey all, Yeti here. What a solid day of runs. This has been an incredible weekend at home watching CRDQ from the safety of our couch. This donation brings our total to $12,000. Thanks to your support in way of shirt and pin orders. We will be keeping the shop open till midnight CST, so if you want to pick up something, you have until then. Stay safe. So just a reminder, we are trying to reach that Kingdom Hearts 2 final mix, Sephiroth level 1 critical mode incentive. We are still about $54,000 away, so let's keep those donations coming in.
Yeah, I know a bunch of you out there have been playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you want to see Sephiroth get what he deserves, you could see it here on not just critical mode like we're playing right now, but even on level 1, because Ninten is just going to add that extra restriction.
I'm also adding Kingdom Key to that.
What?
Okay, so
level
this
one
Keyblade
with the level 1 Keyblade up against Sephiroth. Would love to see it on critical mode.
That's super cool. We really want to see that, folks. But for now, Nintendo's just going to be moving back to the mansion as we're actually getting near the end of Twilight Town here.
Yeah, it's crazy on PS4 how much faster this game got. Just as a comparison, back when we ran Kingdom Hearts 2 English back in the day, that runs still around 4 hours. Ninten, I believe you still have the record for it.
Yeah, actually, it's like 4 years old now, I think.
Yeah, and now it went through PS3 phase where it got slower, and then now it's on PS4 where you guys can just see it. We'll load into a room. There's about a half a second of black screen, and then bam, we're right back in there. So.
It's very
let's get
nice
off
for
one more quick donation before we go into the last stretch of Roxas's fight.
I was gonna say it's nice for running, but not as much for donations. But go ahead, Sucker.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a $300 donation from Who's Ya Yeet that reads, "Giving the last of my stimulus check to help those in need. Good luck, Ninten."
Thank you.
All right, so here we've got, I definitely think this is the hardest fight of the Roxas section. We got a wave of 4 Dusks and then 2 of the Assassins. The Assassins are a very dangerous nobody-based enemy that can actually one-shot you with combos. Now, right here, we're going to be utilizing a healthy mix of the reversals and then just a couple of physical attacks in there to try and kill 3 of these Dusks. Once 3 of them are dead, that will spawn in 2 Assassins. So Ninten will know to stay on top of it. Actually taking out all of them right there. Nice bonus. And now catching one of the Assassins before they can really do anything. Nice reaction there with a guard to actually keep it up in the air. Beautifully done fight.
Yeah, that was really good for me.
That was great. That's such
and if it's really good for Ninten, then it's really good for anyone. So.
Right. That's such an easy fight to die on without thinking about it. But we're right into the second Axel fight here. And this one is, I'd say, a little safer most of the time, but you will die very quickly if you miss an input here or there. The interesting thing about this fight is that you're given 2 Keyblades as a foreshadowing for later. And you also are given the ability to end your combo early. Basically to start out with some attacks, but then go into a finisher early, just like Ninten did there to knock the boss up. That is something that's going to come into play a lot of the time here to make various strats work out properly. And you can see in this case being used to knock him up in the air and just finish him off a little bit faster than if you had to wait out that long combo.
So really,
and we're
nice
about done with Roxas section now too.
Yeah, already. That's already Roxas in the books. Now we got kind of the first little bit bigger menu right here with Sora, Donald, and Goofy now into the party. First thing he's going to be doing is swapping Donald and Goofy. Actually, there's a lot of things going on in this menu. He's taking their ether and a bunch of their potions. Potions are really good for just obviously healing our HP very quickly in this game compared to like KH1's potion throws. Biggest thing is that you actually can change the behavior of your party members in this game. So we actually put Donald on Sora attack, meaning he'll just stay close to Sora the entire time. Keeps him a little bit more passive. And Goofy on party attack to actually keep him attacking other enemies away from Sora so that it doesn't interrupt you. Because right here, actually in this fight, we're actually going to just want to bait out a death from the Dusks. Just hit each of them a couple times. Gonna need one more hit right here. Very nice.
Nice. Yeah.
And that'll end that fight about 90 seconds earlier than it should have been.
Yeah, similar, kind of a little similar to the earlier fight that Ninten took a death on. There are many fights in this game that can end under different conditions than just beat all the enemies. Usually that results in either do enough hits in the fight, kill enough enemies, have enough time pass, or take enough damage, effectively, take a death. And because we're on critical mode, most of the time it's going to be faster to take a death. This shadow fight is another case of that. So you can see Ninten took the death as well there. And it's going to pick up this chest, pick up an ether, because like Spike was getting to, ethers are super useful. You can just refill that MP bar and keep using both magic and very powerful limits later in the game.
All right, right, and you saw also he put Donald, if you might have seen, Ninten's really fast at menuing, but we'll try to explain to you as we go. Put Donald back on party attack, because now Donald's gonna be much more aggressive as opposed to passive, and his Donald Thunder is actually very good. It'll one-shot any of these shadows, and if the shadows can kind of bunch up, that can take out a group of them as well, sort of acting as a bit of an AoE. Once again, top players, they're going for air combos on these things that are about 1 inch tall. But yeah, fitting those in is much faster than just going for your standard ground combos.
Thankfully, it's a lot easier with Sora.
Yes, Sora is much more nimble than Roxas. I don't know where he gets his shorts, but the Gap filled them with rocks. I guess that's why he's Roxas. Anyways, bad jokes. Moving in, now we have the soldiers. The soldiers have a pretty interesting reaction command here. Cyclone, where we're going to get in 3 attacks and try to manipulate where Sora moves back to, so that in those cyclones, we can get multiple enemies at once. You actually pull this back correctly here. We can get the triple. Oh, my Lanta.
I hardly ever get that too.
Wow, that's fantastic. And like Spike was saying, he can try to go for that because we know how that Cyclone reaction command is going to react. Sora's always going to take that hop to the side and then dash through them. So if you can get used to how all this movement's going to work out, you can basically prep Sora's location to activate the reaction command at a specific time. Now, your position in this game, like in fights, actually can alter other things about the fight, like certain attacks that enemies are going to use and stuff like that. So that'll show up later as well, especially in Beast Castle. But not only does Ninten have to worry about what types of attacks and what time he's going to do the attacks, but also where Sora is standing at any given point in the entire run.
So now we got Chip and Dale. Some of the only like cutscenes of sorts that we can't really skip throughout this run. But yeah, we're finally out of Twilight Town. We're in our gummy ship. Now we're moving over to Hollow Bastion 1, where all the Final Fantasy characters are.
Yeah.
And we'll get to see kind of what that Roxas Axel fight was alluding to earlier, our Valor form right here. Valor form is going to be utilized a lot throughout, particularly the first half of the run, as Sora is more in a sprinting animation, so he's just going to run faster. And we'll have access to just pretty good DPS with it right here. Starting off with a reversal so that Sora is behind all the enemies, and now Ninten is able to link that into finishing the combo early into a double finisher due to having that finishing plus from critical mode. Nice taking out that Samurai right there. That Samurai is also a very deadly enemy. We're going to have to face a bunch of them in the upcoming fight here as we go alongside Leon to protect Hollow Bastion.
Little swag movement that you can see using Valor form, where you actually attack an enemy from further away using square most of the time rather than the attack button X. And it's just, I love movement in this game as well. It's one of those weird things where you'd think this game is all about the combat, and it mostly is, but there's lots of ways to skip a ledge grab here, skip an animation there. It's just so much that can come together to save you a lot of time over the course of the run.
All right, this is really one of the first gut checks of the run. We've got the Bailey fight. The first thing they want to do is your biggest enemy in this fight are not samurais, they're not dusks. They are Leon. We want to keep Leon healthy over in the corner with these enemies. So we first push all the enemies to the cage, let him take them out. Oh no, he's coming back. He doesn't want to participate. It's a marathon run. He wants to mess with it. All the enemies moving back. Now we're going to get this dual stance right here. We're going to try to get a kind of a ripple effect from the attacks. Going up to get that dual stance. Taking out another big wave of enemies. This is actually a very good setup. A lot of enemies got caught back there. Yeah, already bringing in the last of the Dusks right here, pushing them towards the gate. Now Leon, he can kind of do what he wants. Let's see if he can actually use some powerful attacks. Spam some Fire Rockets next to your Blizzards.
Yeah, and Ninten actually reacted amazingly well in that fight there. He saw that Leon pushed one of the samurais further away, which ordinarily you don't want him to mess with the samurais at all. That's your big way of dealing damage with reaction commands. But he was still close enough to the others, so he was able to still damage it. It reacted and did another attack, and then Ninten saw it right as he was about to target a different samurai, and then changed his target, went over and used the reaction command. It's that kind of like proficiency and knowledge that is really impressive at the top level of this game. And now I think it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of a bunch of people. All right, Hannah said she wanted to see some singing from us because the last run didn't have any. So I'm gonna do my best. I'll make a man out of you here since we're going to Land of Dragons. Chat, you're gonna have to help me out on the be a man's because I can't do both at the same time. And Spike's gonna help me with some of the voices, but we're gonna see how this goes online. Please bear with me. All right, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? You're the saddest bunch I ever met, but you can bet before we're through, Mister, I'll make a man out of you. Tranquil as a forest, but on fire within. Once you find your center, you are sure to win. You're a spineless, pale, pathetic lot, and you haven't got a clue. Somehow I'll make a man out of you.
Say goodbye to those who knew me. Boy, I was a fool in school for cutting gym. This guy's got him scared to death. Hope he doesn't see right through me. Now I really wish that I knew how to swim. Be a man.
Be a man.
We must be swift as the coursing river.
Be a man.
With all the force of a great typhoon.
Be a man.
With all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Time is racing toward us till the Huns arrive. Heed my every order, and you might survive. You're unsuited for the rage of war, so pack up, go home, you're through. How could I make a man out of you?
Be a
man. We must be swift as the coursing river.
Be a man.
With all the force of a great typhoon.
Be a
With
man.
all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Be a man, we must be swift as the coursing river.
Be a man.
With all the force of a great typhoon.
Be a
With
man.
all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. I didn't have to do more important stuff.
To Land of Dragons. GG, Hobbs. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
That's a GDQ Kingdom Hearts classic right there.
That's my first time karaokeing that song, by the way. But we got more important things going on because we're in Land of Dragons here. We're in the mission fights. What's going on here, Spike?
Yeah, so we got a couple other enemies that we just got introduced to. We got these Night Walkers right here. With Valor Form, he's going to try to take them out. He's trying to make sure he hits level 2 right there. I'm assuming maybe you hit that at some point. I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention. But
I did, yeah.
Now he's going to drop out of it and put Donald back into the party again. He wants those AoE thunders from Donald to take out these shadows, but also use fire in order to actually catch the shadows before they go into this 2D mode. You can see pretty annoying right there for Ninten. Not bad. Through the first 2 missions already. Now going into, in this set of 3, mission 2. There's kind of the pre-mission, mission 1, mission 2, mission 3. Now going to be using fires once again to catch all these shadows, letting them kind of move inwards first. And that's actually a good way to just keep them stun locked above. Once you're down to 1 shadowlet, that spawns in 3 Night Walkers right here.
These mission fights can go awry so quickly, and being able to know how to recover just like that actually is very important. And wow, these assault riders can actually potions. They can totally tear you up. It's super scary, but that potion bringing him back up to safety, and Ninten knowing to stay calm, know exactly how to retaliate to that one. Oftentimes when you're taking a hit in this game, it's actually better to not try to immediately recover like your instinct would tell you to immediately start attacking the enemy again. It's actually better to kind of take it back up, give yourself a moment, and know that the enemy is going to be in a specific attack or a specific animation.
Yeah, those assault riders, the big enemies right there, their little slam attack into the ground here on critical mode. Ninten makes this game look easy. It's easy to forget that, yeah, we're on the highest difficulty. That little slam attack from the assault rider can actually one-shot you at this point. So it's really important to react to that properly. And now we got, this mission can be kind of annoying for just losing little bits of time based on the shadows. It's a pretty consistent position that they'll always spawn from. He knows the order they'll be there, but obviously it's random what their movement is afterwards. Actually getting far enough away, good veteran move right there by Ninten to actually get closer to this Nightwalker as it spawns in, get Goofy back in the party so we can actually go into Valor form, as Goofy needs to be in the party for that, and then take out these Nightwalkers with the rest of the Valor combos. Also giving him better movement capabilities for going through the mountain climb right here.
You're gonna see a lot of usage of Valor form in this early game, mostly for the movement, but it is still very powerful in these fights as well. So trying to play that balancing act of when do you use the Valor form for the fights, but also I need the drive gauge for the movement, is something that has just come from years and years of community routing. Now we have this.
Honestly, can't believe I survived that mission too, by the way.
No,
I was on like 1 HP.
That is definitely, I would say, one of the top 5 scariest fights of the first third of this run. I kind of split this game up into 3 different sections: early game, mid game, and late game. And that's definitely a scary early game one. Also, that Nightwalker getting in a little bit of an opinion right there.
Yeah, 1 hit.
We're a little bit lower on health. We'll see how Ninten elects to go about this. Might just pop a potion. Alternatively, could see if some HP orbs can just drop from shadows. We'd have to survive to that point.
I get refilled here.
Oh, do we just get a refill at this point?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You tell how much knowledge I have. So, but yeah, moving in, we got first off the Assault Rider and about 7,000 shadows. I don't think I'm exaggerating whatsoever. Taking out the Assault Rider first, as he is the big damage dealer. Okay. Now we'll have to utilize fires in the corner to take out the shadows as well as we can. Once you take out about half of them, another wave of them will spawn in.
And you are often expecting to potentially take a hit in this, but Ninten took 2 in a row there, and I was a little spooked because I think 3, maybe 4 would be just enough to kill him. But as soon as you actually start finishing off the shadows, then you'll get some health drops almost every time. Which should fill you back up to full. So now we have 2 Assault Riders. He takes out the first one, the one that didn't use the spinning attack, because you can't really do much to interrupt him with the spinning attack. And then since the second one was using a spinning attack, he knew stop anti-form from being built up. You can basically prevent it from ever happening except for where you want it to happen. And Ninten is keeping track of that throughout all of the usages here.
Now here we are on the Mountain Summit fight. As you can see in the top left corner in the UI, we've got a 1-minute timer. There's no way to speed this fight up. There is a way to slow it down. So we're gonna hope he doesn't do that.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to be honest. You can die pretty fast from these. I forgot what their name is, but the spinny things. Yeah.
Love all the different usages of it. And now always making sure to stay in the air and utilize Arrow Blade from the Rapid Thrusters, their reaction command, to make sure we kill as many bolt towers as possible. He wants to see himself get down to around 120 experience away from level 10. Level 10 giving you a strength increase that will then speed up the Shan Yu boss fight coming up later.
Yeah,
might not hit here.
All of the bolt towers that he takes out as well can give him extra money. Ooh, got down to 105 away right at the last
100 quick experience points right there at the end.
That was great. But yeah, that money can be useful as well for some of the purchases that Ninten wants to do, including some stuff for marathon safety, but also just always more money for more ethers is never a bad thing.
And now Ping has powered up into her Mulan form, which actually does change a lot of her abilities she has. Biggest thing is that we took off a couple of her abilities and gave her fire boost. That's to up the reaction command that she has. I forget the name of her reaction command off the top of my head.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, it's
a red rocket. Yeah,
it's something that makes a bunch of fire stuff blow up and things die real quickly. It's great. And also putting her on party attack so that she focuses on other enemies coming up. Really nice damage boost right there by Ninten. Slide dashing into the assault rider, manipulating it to then hit you with its spear attack, pushing you forward just a little bit. Again, cutting out, saving those seconds whenever they can.
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about with the movement in this game being very cool, because you aren't given a lot of tools early on, so you have to work with what you're given. But now we see that red rocket using Flame Tongue and Heat Lance, really just Heat Lance in this case, to get to the finisher almost as quickly as you can and use it to take out hopefully all of the, Bolt Towers, not quite, but just one to clean up. Not big deal. Not a big deal at all.
Yeah, limits throughout this run. We'll talk more about it in later limits, but they're not just simply press a button and you do the limit. There's actually a lot of ways to control how the limit goes within its animation. We'll get to that kind of at the next big limit we'll have coming up later on in Trinity Limit. But here we are with Valor form going into the Shan Yu boss fight. First thing we're going to be trying to do is manipulate where he's going to attack you at, and then we're going to clash into him, initiating this reaction command. You're actually going to knock him backwards, catching a couple of those night crawlers as well, or night walkers, something like that.
Night walkers, yeah.
Yeah. All right,
I call them night crawlers all the time.
Yeah,
we're in the phase where Shan Yu kind of powers up, and he knows he's going to use that slide dash attack on you if you're kind of far enough away there. So by timing it precisely when Ninten's attacking, he can deflect it, use the reaction command, and man, by the time I could even try to finish that explanation, that boss is already done. It's ridiculous.
Nasty fast, yeah, going through. I remember back in the day, we used to drop out of Valor form a little ways through. Makes guarding him a little bit easier, because Valor form doesn't have a guard, unlike base Sora does. But if you know how to if your timing is really good, you can just kind of clash into it and get that reaction command. So very nice. We go into a longer gummy mission right here. Let's get some donations in. Again, guys, if you want even more Disney singing, I will sing Under the Sea for you guys as soon as we get to $350,000. Make sure to get your donations in for that Sephiroth level 1 boss fight, which will be done with the Kingdom Key by Ninten866. With that, Sakura, give us some donations.
Yeah, absolutely. We are still about $51,000 away from that incentive, so we definitely need some more donations coming in. We have Jacob 4260 with a $5 donation that says, had to donate for my favorite game and favorite runner. Good luck, Ninten, and show everyone why Kingdom Hearts 2 is so amazing.
Thank you, Jacob.
We also have Clark_streams with a $50 donation that reads, hey Ninten, great to see you running this game after grinding it for so long. Happy to give to such a great cause and happy to get level 1 Sephiroth met too. Nindab.
Thank you, Clark.
As well as a $25 donation from Rage Against the Clampdown, saying, Ninten hype? Good luck on the run. You got this. May your heart be your guiding key. We have a $500 anonymous donation. This is thanks to all the runners for lifting spirits and encouraging donations. I'll give another $100 if you can explain to someone who hasn't played Kingdom Hearts 2 in over a decade, what is Kingdom Hearts?
Good luck. I ain't trying.
Kingdom Hearts is light, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what KH1 says. So
yeah,
we'll wait for the check in the mail during this marathon. All right, let's go. You can get a few more in.
Absolutely. We have a $50 donation from Andrew E. that reads, the AGDQ 2015 run of Kingdom Hearts 2 was the run that got me into speedrunning. Love seeing it run here, and let's get that Sephiroth incentive met. We also have a $25 donation from Laura and Nick that reads, so excited for the Kingdom Hearts run. My sister and I loved this game so much growing up, so this donation is in honor of her quarantine birthday tomorrow. So happy early birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah.
We have a $100 donation from Rem193 that reads, glad to see Kingdom Hearts make an appearance during CRDQ. Here's a small contribution towards the goal. As well as a $25 donation from Civic Rory that reads, hey Ninten, regular stream lurker here. Thanks for keeping me entertained with the gold crown runs while I'm stuck inside. Didn't dab. Let's get to 75k to see the Sephiroth fight.
Thank you, Civic. Oh, so that's an emote, by the way, if anyone's confused.
I figured.
Yeah.
Does anybody have it in the chat so I can see it?
Ooh.
There may be.
Prove it's an emote.
Yeah. We also have a $200 donation from Toastling that reads, Kingdom Hearts and Disney music are exactly the things I need right now. Thank you for being so awesome. We can get some more Disney music if we get to 350k before the next gummy mission.
Yeah, we need $18,000 stat.
We could do it. We got to put that towards the incentive anyways.
I'm about to say, we already got to get there. Mine's just a bonus along the way. So, with that, another gummy mission down, the second of 7 total throughout the run. A common question a lot of people have is the ordering of these first couple of Disney worlds. Our main goal of this first part is we need to take down Land of Dragons, Beast Castle, and whichever one you beat first will give you access to Olympus Coliseum, which is also the third of the Disney worlds we need to finish up. We're going to Olympus Coliseum first because it's actually going to get us a lot more experience. It'll get us some better abilities that will help us make Beast Castle a lot faster, but also get us the Hero's Crest Keyblade at the end of the run, which is a very strong Keyblade that will then be utilized throughout quite a bit of the rest of the run, actually.
Yeah, quite a bit.
So, nice slide dash movement into that little rabid dog or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I was waiting on that one. It's super cool because right now, actually, if you look in the bottom right corner, that drive gauge is locked up. Cannot go into Valor form in order to move faster. So you really have to make those slide dashes, make the most out of them that you can as you're heading up over to Hades. This whole first half of Olympus Coliseum here is kind of like this. You're not going to be able to use those drive forms, and Hades, you're not exactly gonna fight him right away. You're gonna have to run away.
He'll
fight you.
Yeah.
And the astute observer might have noticed that Ninten actually picked up a fire bangle in Land of Dragons, and that was for this upcoming Hades escape. Is actually so that way you could take just a little bit more damage from the fire. It's something that you maybe skip in a like optimal PB attempt, but like man, in marathon, I can't believe you do that at all, let alone to even think about doing it in a marathon. No. We're gonna grab that bangle and just help a little bit. But you know, that doesn't mean you can't take a damage boost on the way to the way to the fight.
So with this fight, again, same sort of deal. It'll end after you deal enough hits to Hades, and just slide dashing into him, comboing into a couple of fires will actually go through that quote-unquote health bar very quickly. Now we get Ornn from Final Fantasy X, taking off a couple of his undesired abilities so that he'll mostly focus on healing us and doing other important stuff. But now into the fight, we have our first of 4 Heartless waves we have to take out and survive while Hades is just shooting fireballs left and right. We're going to throw up a fire, as you saw back there, in order to bait out the bat cry from the hook bats right there. That's a very powerful reaction command in combination with that reaction boost that we start critical mode with, dealing tons of damage to different enemies. No hook bats, unfortunately, in this second phase. We're going to start off, get into the corner, guard them, go into some fires. We are keeping a track of Hades the entire time to make sure he's not going to be doing anything too messy. All right, using the Lance Tug right there in order to mainly protect himself, avoiding any damage from Hades. Nice long-range blizzards right there, getting through down to the third and final tier, which has 2 waves. We're moving up this right side right here and getting another hook bat. We're just going to attack it one time just to bait out the reaction command, and now just go through the health bar very quickly. Get another one to take out the rest of this third wave as we spawn in wave 4. All right, Hades is mostly being nice right now.
Yeah,
right as I say that, it came through on my side of the screen. All right,
That's exactly what you're
trying
worried
to take
about.
out this large body. All right, using Ornn's limit as a backup right now to keep himself safe. You do have iframes during this. Make sure we take out that large body, as we can only hurt it from the front side. All right, Ninten at a decent amount of health. Ooh, unfortunately, the hook bat is gone. We have 2 Lance enemies left.
Wow, yeah, that Orin limit normally will kind of finish everything off for you. A little unfortunate that we're still surviving. He's using the lance.
Dangerous.
But, he accidentally targeted Hades.
Nice
Now Hades
potion.
teleported.
Okay.
Oh, almost got sniped.
Oh my
at the
God.
end there, which
Very
is
nice.
something Spike's all too familiar with, I can tell you.
Oh, yeah. I have died on literally the last frame walking through that door. Just shot me in the back. It was great. Very hilarious on stream, but not hilarious for my splits.
Yeah, that third platform was a little rough, but anytime you can get through there without dying, it's going to feel way better than the time loss feels bad, right? Like it's so important to just get through that without dying, especially in a no reset situation. So Ninten handling all of those hits very well, trying to make sure that he kept himself full whenever he could.
Yeah, I will take the blame for that one. I definitely jinxed Ninten, but you know what? I always bounce back as a commentator. I never commentator's curse. I'm thinking this next fight is going to be perfect. No deaths whatsoever. So come over here, we got Cerberus. Now, as he comes in, he wanted to jump right there, but he's He's like Disney. Mickey shows up. Let's go.
Everything's fine. Yeah, so there are a few fights in which Mickey can actually show up and save you. And the chance of Mickey showing up and saving you is actually random. It's not 100%, except in the first time where you die in one of those fights. So it's always planned that Mickey is going to save you here in the Cerberus fight. And as you can see, Cerberus is attacking very wildly all over the place, is launching these fireballs that are obnoxious, and Mickey's Pearl attack here is just dealing so much damage. So you actually get him all the way down to one hit remaining, revive Sora, and he's going to use either magic or limit in order to get over the boss. He's using fireballs, so but it's almost done with the fireballs.
But good, just like a boss just walked away from the fireballs, all chill like, didn't worry about it.
Just walking over to the left, dodge all those fireballs, use that blizzard, but very nicely done. And now we are just gonna carry on. We're gonna keep moving on up to a couple mini games actually.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out Olympus Coliseum. Ninten, where would you rank this in terms of like scariest segments of the run?
Hades Escape is a huge one. I would say that's probably like the scariest one in early game for sure. Like Orin right there, he really messed me up with hitting the bat. He knocked him like really high up, so I couldn't do the bat cry. And then I got like hit by the Lancer, I think. I can't believe I survived that fight.
Yeah, that was, they just put on a clinic of survivability, which you gotta have in a critical mode run like this. But here we are with Urns. We gotta get 20 of these in the first phase. Try to attack them from a diagonal so you can, with your big sweeping horizontal finisher right there, you break all of them in one go. Because the first couple of hits in a combo actually don't break the Urns. It's only the finishers themselves. Now we're here in the second one. Need to get to 100 here. For the most part, we're just trying to spawn in the big urn, which will have orbs that are worth 10 apiece. So 30 total. But actually, depending on how this fight's going, as you can see, oh my God, it's already at 83. Potentially, if stuff goes your way, you don't even really need the big urn.
Oh, let's see it. Come on.
Okay.
Okay, well, he broke the big urn, but he didn't need it. He was just doing it for
Pretty
fun.
sure we didn't need it. Yeah.
That was really well done. Yeah, Spike was gonna say that big urn, it drops like 30, but also if you hit it into other things, it makes them drop a lot because, you know, those are old strats, man. We got 2020 strats up in here. We got Ninten
2020 strats. And again, that draw putting in a lot of work from critical mode. So, and all those abilities we had access to. Picking up a power boost right here. It's the only power boost we actually pick up throughout the run. And useful. Every point of strength of your attack is very crucial to just hitting those different damage ceilings whenever you can.
Yeah, that's the only power boost he'll be getting in the entire run, and it's, even though you have to watch that little like chest animation, absolutely 100% worth it. It helps you so much with the damage. And coming up, we're gonna have some scary sections and stuff. Ninten, how do you generally feel about this world? Is this one that you're a little more worried about, or are you pretty confident in some of the strats?
I'm not scared about like the next few fights coming up. I was more just worried about Hades Escape because I don't know if we mentioned it, but that can be like, if I died at the ending there, it would have actually been like a 2 or 3 minute time loss.
Yes, you would have had to repeat running all the way back up to the pre-Hades fight and then running back all the way down. So yeah, this is the prime place to just have your run die. It's kind of a theme of this world. We got another fight coming up that can also lose you minutes if you die to it. But first up, we got Demyx. A little bit of a gimmick fight right here. He's got 100 of his little water clones. After you hit them once or twice, they'll turn into these little, they'll turn into their note forms, and you can use the wild dance reaction command with them. It's very awkward because Sora kind of has a mind of his own. It's hard to control it as the player. You want to try to stay on top of Demyx since that's where the water clones are going to be spawning from. And then you can just obviously kill them as they spawn in. Really, really good times here. Can potentially go as high as like 50-something seconds. But you just kind of see what you can get, honestly.
Yeah, this one they've kind of scattered all over the place, and Ninten's just trying to get him back towards Demyx right near the end, working it out and using some fire to finish things off for the last couple clones. That's what we were talking about earlier, all the way back when we were saying that scan is a useful ability to have on, even though, you know, theoretically a speedrunner could know the health of every single boss. The reason that kind of thing is useful is just more information just means that you have more chances to adapt to whatever the game is doing. And that includes being able to see on the heads-up display, oh, hey, there's 2 water clones left. I can use a fire to save time. But now we have the Pete fight. This is a fight that has 2 phases to it, and Ninten said is not too scared of like the rest of the fights in this world. I'll be scared for him, okay? Because
I'm there.
This is the first phase of this is a timed fight. There's basically nothing you can do here. You're just waiting for Pete to be done. Even if you get him all the way down to 1 health and stuff, it doesn't matter. So in the meantime, he's just going to get rid of any enemies that are spawning just to have fewer chances of dying, and just hit Pete or manipulate his attacks so that way you're less likely to get hit at all. So you're reflecting the bowling balls, for example. You can also get a little bit extra money from these soldiers. But the second phase, Spike, that's where things really get scary, right?
Yeah. Okay, so if he dies in 12 seconds, it was a good fight. If he lives past the 12-second mark, we're probably going to die. The biggest thing is, as you can see in the bottom right corner, we now have access to our drive form again. That was from beating that gimmicky Demyx fight back there. Hercules will also be in the fight. Biggest thing is we want to get forward. We want to go into our Valor form. Having the explosion from that actually hopefully knock knock Pete up into the air. Unfortunately, the immediate unlucky pinball. He's going to go ahead and use the hook bat, which did get caught, and he did know a good veteran move right there, was able to catch with the finisher part of the bat cry. Oh, still a very fast fight. Very nice.
Very good. I got a little spooked when that boulder started spawning at the end and everything, but very nicely done by Ninten, just chaining that finisher at the end and finishing off Pete there. So no major 2.5 minute time loss to worry about there, unless he died in the next fight. And then
we're still not out of this yet.
Another multi-minute
early game world
death. Yeah, it's a rough one. We got the Hydra fight here. This one is a little more like phase scripted to a degree in that the boss is going to go through several changes in this fight, but he's going to open with the Trinity limit. Now that is actually a brand new ability just got from the Pete fight, but we put it on immediately because it's so good. The first part of it, when you're using the group Trinity, you're using it with Donald and Goofy in the party, is actually not going to deal any damage directly, but it's going to rack up a hit counter, and that'll make the finisher of it deal extra damage. So now he can stun Hydra here to make all 3 of these heads that he has to take out all fall to the ground and stay down. If he does this just right, he can actually chain all of these Vanquish reaction commands to move him from head to head and take them all out before they wake up, something that you never would see casually. You would always have him wake back up. And then he'll be going into the next part of the fight where you can see that MP bar just came back right in time because he's going to use another Trinity here in order to rack up a bunch of hits, deal a bunch of damage to the boss. The different presses of the Trinity matter in how many hits you're going to rack up.
Yeah, so making sure he used 2 right there because he does want to drop out of it early, because now this is about the only time the Hydra will be giving him effectively free damage. He'll bring his head down. Might be able to knock him out right here. Very nice.
That's great, and you can just see that finisher. Oftentimes you end up having to use another Trinity. Not this time. Ninten just had those heads knocked out and even got a heal from Donald, I believe, in there as well, which was nice because it got a little low on health.
Out of curiosity, did you go into Valor right there to actually get the explosion as a potential finisher on it?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really necessary, but I just did it. I actually forgot to put on an Ether in that fight, so if I didn't beat him there, I would have had to wait for my MP to come back.
Oh no.
I was saying, because once you do drop it back into your MP recharge, once your blue bar down there in the right corner is into the pink bar, we just have to wait for that to come back. That is representative that you have no magic at your disposal. So no limits, no other magics or anything. And Hydra at that HP level would have effectively never given you an opportunity to hit him. He would have just had his head up in the air for a while until we got our MP back. So here we are with the Winnie the Pooh fight. We're going to be saving the book. Good job.
Yeah, it turns out that's another one of those fights you can just die on in order to progress it. Again, critical mode means you're going to die very quickly, and I kind of love it from a commentary perspective because it gets to show you all of these times where Ninten is like taking a hit in a fight here or there and not dying. This is how close he is to dying at all times.
Right.
If you're not planning, you will just end up dead and potentially lose minutes at a time.
Yeah, he got an attack from the level 2 enemy of this series, and it almost killed him. So, yeah, critical mode's pretty tough. With that, we're on our way to Beast Castle, the end of the first string of the Disney Worlds. But first of all, let's send it over to Sakura. As I can see, I'm only about $15,000 away from getting my Sebastian on.
Ooh, nice.
What are our donations looking like, Saku?
We have a $50 donation from Yingpo, which reads, "Thanks GDQ for everyone's hard work on making this weekend's quarantine so much fun. Let's get some one-winged angel action and meet that incentive." We also have a $500 donation from 23 Caterpie.
Wow.
Level 1 Sephiroth hype. Let's defeat Corona while we're at it.
We're on Discord, so we got to give like the golf claps. Do little small claps into the mic.
We also had a $5 donation from Yenzo, which reads, "Y'all know I had to donate for urns. Let's get Sephiroth." We also had a $50 donation from Aroxis that reads, "It would be heartless not to donate, especially when watching such a goofy game."
I got that.
We also have a $25 donation from Muso for Hire with the comment, "Donating partly for a worthy cause, partly because Kingdom Hearts 2 is such a fantastic game, partly for the Sephiroth fight, but mostly to hear Spike Vegeta sing more Disney tunes."
Hey, I just saw that go up $1,000 in a course of like half a gummy mission. We got 14,000 to go, people. Let's go.
Speaking of the $1,000 donation, we have a $1,000 donation from I Don't Even Noah.
Wow, nice.
"It would be pretty heartless to not donate during my favorite game series that I hold so dearly beloved to my heart. Thanks to all the runners and everyone that has contributed their time, money, and effort towards this event. Love seeing how something as simple as video game can make such a positive impact during this time."
Hey, everybody out there, the impact is being made by all of you, okay? We're just here for your entertainment, but you're the real champions here. Everybody out there who's donating, whether it be $2, whether it be $2,000, whatever you've got is helping out so much to all the people that are on the front lines, everybody who needs that help during this trying time right now.
Absolutely. We also... Sorry.
No, you go ahead. I'm just being an idiot. You're fine.
We also have a $250 donation from Miri with the comment, "Sephiroth, the original social distancing champion. It's amazing to see the community come together in this crisis. PPE hype."
Let's go. I've loved all the social distancing puns that I've heard from runners in this marathon. I thought Catalyst had a lot of fun with that during his Dark Souls run the other day. It was pretty good. But with that, we are here in Beast Castle from the movie Beauty and the Beast. Best Disney movie, no question. But anyways.
That's the one. Okay.
But here we are using Trinity Limit. Again, we're not trying to get any kills with this. This is one of those fights where there's a number of ways to end fights early. Here it's just getting enough hits. And hitting about 15 different shadows 700 times with that, yeah, it's going to get your hit counter up pretty fast. And now picking up the Sardonyx ring from the Moogle shop right there. That'll give Ninten +1 strength and +1 AP. We'll be equipping that actually later in the run, once we get that second accessory slot. First one being taken up by the metal right now, giving him that 1 strength.
I don't actually recall. Do you get 2 Sardonyx rings or just 1 here now?
No, we just get 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because we don't have like another accessory slot, I think, for the rest of the run.
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of different routing potential, both over the years and across different categories and stuff. So it's really interesting to see every RPG speedrun, well, really every speedrun out there, but especially RPG speedruns. It's the culmination of often, tens, if not sometimes over 100 people's work in putting in years of just like practice and strats and optimization and all that. So it's really great to celebrate Ninten here at the top level, but definitely remember as well, there's so many people that make this route work.
Yeah, shouts to people. I always got to give a shout out to my boy, to Rizzle, for all the work he's put into it, all the strats and everything he's found over the years. But again, a lot of people make this happen. So here we got the Thresholder fight right here. Fighting a door, and we got Chicken Little, our first summon of the game. All of the different summons have a couple of different usages, like a couple of different mechanics. Big thing from Chicken Little is as you get further away from some enemies, and then you bring Chicken Little closer to you, he almost works as a magnet of sorts. So he draws in the enemies and stuns them, allowing you to get in a bunch of free hits, killing both those gargoyles, which is both safer and it will give him on a better experience route. Same thing with those hook bats afterwards.
Yeah, just keeping.
Yeah, I was just playing it safe there.
Yeah, keeping them pulled in stuff always very nice. Yeah, once you get hit by Thresholder, it's a little bit weird sometimes. It happens pretty often enough where I'm sure Nintendo was not too worried about it at all. But always good to play things a little safe here on critical mode when they go.
Yeah, we've already had too many close calls, I think, right now.
Just need like 3 more, and then finally the game's gonna get you. Oh man, but we are going into another little mini game here, but this one you can actually kind of, if you're not paying attention, you can mess up on some versions of the game, but for the most part, you're just getting to each of these lanterns. You have to break open these boxes to clear a path for your allies here in order to get to them. But with that, I think we could probably fit in about 1 or 2 donations, Sakura.
Awesome. Well, we have a singing donation.
Oh yeah.
So we have a $50 donation from Gigi Gino with the comment, "Under the sea, under the sea, Sephiroth better be felt by level 1 Kingdom Key." So we got that. We also have a $50.
That was
Sarah
great,
said
yeah.
she wasn't going to sing before this, but we got her.
There was a donation I had to, okay?
Since she had 2 lines in her, we got the 2 lines right there. You can do one more real quick.
We have a $50 donation from Tink that reads, "Good luck, Ninten, and thank you to all the first responders out there."
All right.
Thank you, Tink.
Beast fight up here now. Can use Cogsworth here in order to stun Beast for just a moment, but then a lot of Valor hits is just going to be the trick to knock him down. Weirdly, this finisher could sometimes whiff on you. When that happens, it gets a little spooky, but luckily,
Oh, yeah.
no problems today. Now,
Making sure
menuing.
Goofy's in the party so that we can use Valor form. Each of the different drive forms, you have to take another character away, usually. Limit form being an exception that we'll get to later. Also, PS4 has super fast load screens to where it's actually faster just to warp on the world map on various points in the run, especially here in Beast Castle. Cuts out a lot of the longer hallways. And now we go into already Beast Castle, a much shorter world than Olympus Coliseum. We're all of a sudden already right here at the boss fight. First thing, a little subtle thing that Nintendo's doing is actually moving backwards. That manipulates the boss to actually go underground. It kind of changes the order in which he does his attacks. This is to try to avoid him going into the window. We're going to try to go for windowless right here. As we knock him out of the chandelier right there, we're going to get in, we're going to counter hits, and then time this attack to catch him and before he goes into the window, wasting time on the attack. Very good stuff. And that's actually going to buy him. You see he has almost 2 full bars of drive gauge now, going into the second phase of the boss fight. Gonna try to get off 1 quick combo right here with that square hotkey to go into the finisher. Very nice, got off the full double combo, drop out of it, and now keep him stunned and go into Beast's Limit. It has that HP value right about where he wants. Now Beast's Limit is going to keep him stun locked for a while. He'll drop out of it before actually going into the finisher, which has a longer animation. Going into that upper slash, keeping him up in the air, keeping him juggled for even longer to make this one very long linked combo to completely take out the boss before he gets a chance to do anything. Best idea on critical mode, if the bosses are very deadly, deadly, and that boss is very deadly. Kill them before they get to do anything. So, very well executed right there by Ninten. Really good early game.
That's a great tip for critical mode fights in this. It's great. And one of the ways that you can kind of do that as well to be safe in critical mode and faster in most cases like there is that whenever you use one of those limits that involves another party member, Sora's actually invulnerable. You cannot be hit during that in, I believe, every single one of them that involves a party member. So that's another reason why you use Beast Limit there. You just can't get hit out of it, so you know that you're going to be able to get that damage onto the boss safely. Now we're into...
Yeah, if you don't beat him like that, then he can like go into a chandelier and you have to do an RC and stuff. It takes a while.
Yeah, it gets a little spooky, and also just, yeah, like Ninten's saying, it's a lot slower. We're speedrunning here. Can't be having that. But we're at Mickey's Castle now. Disney Castle. Excuse me.
Yeah, which I mean, it's also Mickey's castle. You know, he pays the bills. But also, you know who pays the bills? Mickey's wife, Minnie, right here. And time for the hypest strat in all of speedrunning, definitely Kingdom Hearts speedrunning. We are going to push that mouse. Push that mouse.
Push that mouse.
Mouse, ladies and gentlemen. For whatever reason, if you can just, the recovery. Get her out of there. Get her in the door. Let's go.
That's amazing. That strat is really finicky. It's unbelievable how stupid it is and like easy to just totally go off the rails, and then you bail on it and you start fighting some enemies. So for Ninten to actually end up recovering it when Minnie got distracted by some of the enemies there is super cool.
She was covered by 14 enemies. I don't know how you got her out of there.
Yeah,
I know, it's ridiculous. And now in the second part of the mini escort, just got to get through all these bolt towers, and I believe here you're just trying to get her to the end as quickly as possible, right? There's no amount of experience or money you need to farm here. You just are going to end up naturally killing some bolt towers. And
we do need XP.
Okay, okay, so you do have to actually make sure you got enough here. Probably getting my routes mixed up once again here.
With level 1, or just like, we're just getting to the end. Yeah, they actually drop a decent amount of money. We want to try to make sure we're level 14. That has another strength increase for the upcoming Pete boss fight at the end of Timeless River. So we're kind of looking to be, he's at 594 away from level 13. We want to be under 500 roughly. So probably going to have to try to manipulate one more here.
There we go.
And usually when you only need one more 4 die, so.
Right. Yeah, the reason too that it's easy to mix that up like I did is because the actual kind of fastest way to move through there most of the time is just straight up going back to Minnie and using that Faith reaction command, because otherwise she'll stop and start attacking the enemies herself, man. Minnie, you know, Minnie's a boss. She doesn't care. Yes. She'll go right at it. So you have to use that Faith command in order to kind of reset or get her to start moving again. She can move on her own, but it's not nearly as consistent as just using that reaction command. We're going into Timeless River now, one of the few worlds we go to without needing to do a gummy mission.
Yeah.
Ninten equipping that Sardonyx ring that we bought back at the beginning of Beast Castle, giving him +1 strength and +1 AP throughout the run. Now we got the classic Pete fight. You're going to hear me talk about Pete fights a lot in this world. But here for classic Pete, we're actually going to start a combo in the air and then land to reset the combo. We don't want to end with our finisher early. Otherwise, he'll kind of bounce up in the air, land on the ground. You can't stop him for a while. He'll have super armor as he's running around. So instead, we just get that quick reset after 8 hits, fully extending every other hit in the combo and then going out. So here we are in the first of our 4 Windows fights, bringing out Chicken Little. And once again, we're going to be using that magnet command. There's a lot of specificity to making sure you are a certain distance away from the enemies along with Chicken Little. So taking out those enemies, moving far away, Chicken Little picks up that, all those enemies are far enough away, let's pull them in and stun them, and then utilize this air/reaction command here in this window specifically. Really good mashing right there by Ninten, making sure that you didn't lose too much height there, otherwise you drop the ability to use that reaction command. And yeah, very good fight.
Something we've glossed over occasionally, but Ninten has been doing throughout this run is just putting on various abilities and items and stuff like that very quickly, menuing as we often call it. Ninten's menuing is so ridiculously fast because the menus are super responsive in this game, and just having it all memorized is a great way to, you know, kind of work on getting those faster. Now into this next window here, it's kind of more of the same a little bit in that we're going to keep using Chicken Little, but Chicken Little sometimes with this last wave can be a little weird, so Ninten takes out one plane, and also to help spawn in this last enemy a little bit faster. And there we go, just finish him off with a nice little combo.
really good windows so far by Ninten. We're going here into the third window. A lot of players. I know this one gave me a lot of troubles as a kid for sure. These hot rod enemies coming up. So yeah, bringing in Chicken Little again.
First got to deal with these shadows, more of that fire. Again, magic can be comboed, so he's actually not using the finisher of fire there because he would rather use the finisher of the Keyblade in a lot of situations. And now that the hot rods are around, you really want to keep them pulled in with Chicken Little and then try to take them out individually, because if they get too low on health and they're not stunned, they're going to end up going super armor like this and retaliate. But you can use Chicken Little to interrupt them with a baseball and then finish them off. So good recognition there.
Yeah, and there's so much going on in those fights of not just like, okay, use Chicken Little and it draws them in, making sure that you kill enemies in the correct spot with Sora to where Chicken Little immediately activates to bring in the rest of them. So really good stuff there by Ninten. Now for this last window, we're actually not using Chicken Little. We're just going to take out these first two wigs and then
my finger slipped.
Go ahead and don't worry, just roll with it. We use Valor Form right here to get in more hits to farm for later on. As you can see, he's already level 3.
Yeah, standard strat always done every time is to go into Valor Form. Nobody ever does anything other than that, like maybe use a Trinity or anything. No, you always want to use Valor Form, and it's just to move faster and stuff.
Yeah, we actually would be using Valor Form going into this fight because it actually does up the power with having that second Keyblade. It ups the power of these reaction commands right here and the boat hits that we'll be doing. So we already had Classic Pete, now it's time for Boat Pete. Picking up a random it's a mithril stone right there. We're actually only picking it up for hours from now in the run. You'll see later on. Stick around. We'll give you some trivia about it. But yeah, here we are trying to get in as many combos as we can before throwing it off. You can see Ninten's pause buffering to actually see when that reaction command is popping up. If you get caught with your pants down mid-swing on a finisher, then you will get knocked off it and lose a lot of time.
Not a fun thing to have happen for sure. And now, like Spike was saying, we're not done with Pete fights yet. He's gonna move into another one here. And I think you ordinarily might want to have Valor at the beginning of this, right? But not quite in this case, or at least just to run over there. But gonna have to adapt here and use the slide dash into, blizzards as well here. That's super neat. Some nice
Blizzard being really good there. As you can see, he's already queued up Trinity in that bottom left corner. So as soon as the curtains come up, we're already beating the crud out of Pete. Love it right there. And now going into that single phase Trinity to hopefully hit that HP gain and already end phase 2.
Yeah, each of these phases, it relies on doing enough damage to Pete in order to kind of move him into that little animation where he's going to switch the scene. So each one has its own method. Oftentimes you're going to see Trinity or combos followed by a Trinity, followed by combos, followed by Trinity, if the magic situation works out well enough. But here's going to do a few more combos that MP's still recovering. Couldn't use Trinity right now anyways, and get him into the last phase, which is going to be on the construction site here again. And if you do this just right, you can get a little bit of damage in and then finish him off with 2 of these air slashes. Very nice.
Otherwise, it would just slip over into a third one. So basically a perfect fight right there by Ninten. Really good stuff. And there's just a lot of minute details there of making sure that Ninten knows he's using a finisher, which once it hits that HP gate, once you hit it with a finisher, that will put Pete into that animation of going to the next fight. So that shockwave from Pete, for example, in phase 4, would have actually done a lot of damage, over half to Ninten's health bar. But Ninten knew it was coming, was able to stare right into the eye of the beast, Pete, the very intimidating beast, and get in his 4-hit air combo to reach that HP gate. But with that, guys, we're a little over $11,000 away, and we're running out of gummy missions. If you want me to sing Under the Sea, I need to hear some more donations coming in. Saku, what you got for us?
We have a $35 donation from Pippinicus. I hope that's how I say it. Sephiroth slapped me around quite a lot as a kid, so I can say for sure that I'd like to see him get slapped instead, and mayhaps others do as well. Let's get the train rolling full steam ahead, people. Thanks to GDQ for another great event for another great cause. We have a $100 donation for Mr. Goodwine that reads, in all that's going on, I'm super thankful to have an employer willing to offer a salary guarantee. So here's $100 to help. Let's get that Sephiroth fight. Some slight technical difficulties. Don't worry. We will have the stream up. You will be able to see very, very shortly. We have a $250 donation from RoboScout that reads, let's leave a donation train longer than Sephiroth's sword. Just think, guys, this is helping us get a little bit longer to get those donations in so that we can get Spike to sing. We have a $100 donation from Eldritch that reads, this event has brought me a bit of happiness in these odd times. Glad to be able to donate and help out. Love Kingdom Hearts. Good luck, Ninten. We have a $100 donation from Courtney Rail, which reads, been loving this marathon and had to donate during Kingdom Hearts. Here's hoping everyone does their part and self-quarantines so that SGDQ later this year can occur without any complications. Thanks to the organizers and staff for putting this together with such short notice. We have a $99.99 donation from Armadillo64 that reads, what is Kingdom Hearts? A miserable little pile of piles of piles of piles of very confusing secrets. And also a moon. We have a $1,000 donation from Silanu, which reads, Kingdom Hearts 2 is by far one of my favorite games, and it's always so much fun to watch speedruns, especially for super important causes. Let's get to 400k and make sure as many people get much needed PPE as possible. Thanks for doing this, GDQ. Ninten866 and everyone involved. Remember, your friends are your power. We have a $250 donation from Michael Neely with no comment. Thank you so much. As well as a $10 donation from Boker, which reads, hi all, good luck on the run, Ninten, and I need more Spike singing in my life. Nint Dab. We have a $100 donation from a sim person that reads, maybe a speedrun wasn't the best way to try to figure out what Kingdom Hearts is, but regardless, let's get that Sephiroth fight. And we have a $10 donation from Kais, which reads, so Hobbs sang a song? Spike has a goal to sing a song. What's the goal for Saku to sing a song? The entire $75,000 for Sephiroth. I'll do it if that gets met. And that's saying a lot because I said I wouldn't do it. So it's on you guys. Probably part of your world will be the thing. That'll be what I do. We have a $10 donation from Evil Eye 111 had to donate during Kingdom Hearts 2 and towards the Sephiroth incentive. Thank you to everyone who put on this amazing event and to all the medical and essential workers out there. We have a $100 donation from Bedman with the comment, just want to say thanks to all the runners, donors, and everyone on the front lines, everyone doing their part, staying in and watching GDQ, and of course, everyone who helps to organize run GDQ events. Mr. Rogers did say to look for the helpers. You will always find the people who are helping, and I'm so happy to see many people doing just that. We'll get through this. And with that, looks like we are ready to get back to the run. Let's throw it over to Ninten866.
Hi, sorry about that. I'm ready for the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
We just wanted to cut out the end of the gummy mission, man. I don't know why everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
I feel like there was some kind of problem or something.
We just wanted some donations get racked up.
Yeah,
under $10,000 from Under the Sea people, and under a little more than that for both Sephiroth Level 1 Kingdom Key and Part of Your World from Sakura Tsubasa. I'm way more hyped for that now than my song. So here we are on the Pirates. Pirates don't like magic. Blizzard, Blizzard, Thunder, Thunder, Rip, they're dead. Pete actually tells you in the cutscene before that don't let them use their magic. So we take that hint to heart. Those some really good looking fights right there. The Blizzard keeping them stun locked in place, and the Thunder's just doing more damage, replacing each of the finishers. Now we got some awesome Chicken Little mixture right here with the fires. Gonna then take a step back to let this last wave of enemies get spawn in and then get trapped in by Chicken Little into the fires, into the Thunder for the finisher. Love, love, love those two fights. They're so fast, but they're so good.
I was gonna say, sometimes in speedruns you don't do what the game wants you to do at all. Sometimes you listen to the game because magic's really powerful. So I always think that's great. Using the Chicken Little summon there actually, and the trinity of it, because the way that summons level up is by depleting the summon gauge while they're out. Depleting a 1 point of it basically will be 1 experience. And so by going into a cutscene that's actually gonna refill his drive gauge no matter what, as long as he has that drive gauge being used, he can get 3 extra experience points for free while just walking into that next area. So that'll let him continue to use Chicken Little here while still working on increasing the amount of time he'll be able to have summons out in general over time.
Got another scary fight right here. It's another timed one. I believe it's 1 minute. I actually don't know off the top of my head. But there's going to be a timed one here with Sora, Donald, and Goofy trying to survive. And the Pirates, their biggest, most annoying gimmick is that while they're in the shadows, they cannot be damaged in any way. So you can see Ninten pulling out Chicken Little right here in order to draw in the Pirates from that distance and then freeze them initially with blizzards and then mix against some ground combos here and there, mainly for the finishers, since those will have a wider range of attack. Killing more pirates is going to be more beneficial to our obviously experience routing, but also our money routing throughout. They can also drop MP bubbles to keep up the ability to use as many blizzards as possible. See Ninten being very careful about where he shoots off the different blizzards, making sure that it hits all of them at once.
Yeah, this is a fight that's really easy to kind of sleep on because it's a timed battle, but if you're not too careful, just like that, you saw how much health Ninten lost there from just 1 gunshot. If you're not paying attention to when the enemies are about to attack you or when they're about to get unfrozen,
that scared me.
Like that one, that was super spooky, then things could go bad for you very quickly, so nice job to pay attention to that at all times. It's wild how many things you have to keep track of in your mind while doing a single fight that you can't even save any time on in this game.
Love the timing of that Chicken Little spawn right there. Actually, bringing him in at a specific time allows you to catch all 3 of those initial pirates in that first Chicken Little whistle, then grabbing the 4th one. This small little ambush fight that Ninten just finished actually links into the bigger boat fight right here. So Chicken Little stays out. Anytime Chicken Little gets hit, he will lose health right there on the summon gauge. And he wants Chicken Little to last all the way to the end of the fight. Already a little bit of a slower opening right here. Those enemies being further away than he wants. Wants to stay clear of those shadows so that he doesn't waste a bunch of time waiting for them to become vulnerable.
Yeah, and sometimes when Chicken Little gets hit, he can also kind of change what he's going to do. In this case, you really want Chicken Little to be whistling most of the time. That's that thing that's going to draw the enemies in. And they cannot be drawn in when they're frozen by Blizzard. So you have to make sure that you're drawing them in and then hitting them with Blizzard, or in this case, now that we're out of MP, hitting them with a bunch of combos. Ninten made a very solid recovery there, because Chicken Little was just throwing a bunch of baseballs, not whistling at all, which is kind of based on how that fight has gone so far, where your position is relevant to Chicken Little, where it is in relation to the enemies themselves, and also what has happened to Chicken Little so far in that fight. So well done, Ninten. That is a super scary one, easy to die on.
Yeah, it's awesome to see fights go perfect, but it's almost sexier to me to see when a speedrunner can recognize when something's going wrong and have a fight that's probably barely slower than that perfect fight from a perfect recovery. So great job right there. This can also be another scary fight, a theme of critical mode, believe it or not. So he wants to be sure to throw a potion if ever needed, using the Valor Form explosion to actually have iframes on that bomb landing on him, having that internal clock in his head, knowing when it was about to land, and getting off that 5th barrel before it blows up. And now utilizing that faster Valor Form running to get over to Barbosa for the boss fight of Port Royal.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk on over there. There's a couple more rooms in which could have gotten medallions from, like this one stuff, but they're actually all pretty slow. Or sorry, I'm thinking
You know, second visit right there.
I'm tripping myself up here for a moment. I was
we're so excited for the revisits.
We're super excited for it. No, we got Barbosa here, where he's first got to take out the Heartless enemy here that's causing all of the darkness, and now doing a lot of combos with Valor Form as much as he can to just get rid of as much of that health bar as he can before Valor Form is too low. Now that Barbosa's health is lower, he's actually going to dismiss it, use the Blizzard to freeze him, because yes, he is a pirate, just like the others. So he can be frozen, but you have to make sure that every time you do, you're going to refreeze him when he pops back out before he starts attacking, as there are some attacks he cannot be frozen during, but with good timing, you can take him out just like that.
Yeah, Barbosa's another one. If you ever let him out of that combo, once again, he'll kill you very quickly. The fight can also end if he kills Jack as well. So it's not one of those you can kind of then just turtle in the corner. If that fight is another one, it either ends in 20 seconds or you're probably not going to be able to make out of it alive. So
yeah, and him getting Jack actually happens more often than you might think.
We are just over $8,000 away from locking up Under the Sea. We got 3 gummy missions left, including this one. Sakura, what are we at?
We're at 31,348 out of 75,000. We have a bunch of donations that have come in. We have a $50 donation from Merv that reads, "Let's meet that Sephiroth incentive and raise some money for a crucial cause. Get hype and defeat Corona." We also have a $250 donation from Shock and Aubrey 67. Had to donate during my most nostalgia-inducing run on the schedule. My summer park ranger job looks to be canceled this year due to COVID-19, but we're lucky enough that my husband is still working. We wanted to spread the love for such a great cause. Good luck on the run and stay away from the door to darkness.
Thank you.
We also have a $50 donation from Kalazi. That reads, "Gotta make Saku sing. Oh, and beat Sephiroth too, I suppose." We also have a $100 donation from Little Duff, which reads, "I love watching GDQ, and I'm over the moon to see them raising money for yet another good cause. Keep up the amazing work, and let's see that Sephiroth fight." We have a $20 donation from Mercurius, which reads, "First time watching live. Mad props to the tech crew working through all of the challenges to make this live event happen for us and for a great cause. Let's go for 350K so we can hear Spike sing and keep pushing until we can get Ninten to crush Sephiroth." And we also have a $25 donation from Scarf, which reads, "What's that? Saku sing for an incentive? I have to contribute to that." Oh man, Sephiroth donated $100.
Oh.
Whoa,
Yeah.
he wants it.
Yeah.
Bring it on. All right.
He thinks he can beat him, huh?
How dare you think these level 1 kids can defeat me? I dare you all to donate enough for me to wipe the floor with them.
Oh.
The challenge, the gauntlet has been thrown down,
yeah.
everybody.
That is definitely the gauntlet there. We have a $60 donation from RoboRails that reads, Sephiroth gets beat up. Healthcare workers get +5 gear against coronavirus. And we get to hear Disney songs? Win, win, win.
All right, so here we are. This is the left side, obviously, of the Disney Worlds. In order to unlock the kind of midpoint of the game, we need to take down these last 2 Disney Worlds over here in Agrabah and Halloween Town. Starting off with Agrabah, and once again, we got this first right here where he's dead. Yeah, so once again, Death Beast, really quick. We're going to be buying a almost the wrong piece of equipment.
Yeah, almost.
The Thundara trinket right there. Just going to be a little bit more defense right there for Ninten. Again, a little bit of safety strats for Marathons. At the highest level, they don't even buy any armor, which is extremely terrifying and maybe even a little stupid, depending on how you think about it. But now we got the biggest menu in the run. Watch it. That was hot.
So many, just like, I love the menu noises too, man. Just the equip, unequip, page turn, equip, unequip. It's so good. That is a very complicated menu. It's one that is also very long, like Spike was saying, and is hard to not only memorize, but then perform quickly, especially, live in a marathon setting. So, but Ninten has so much practice into these menus. To us, it's almost second nature at this point, just how many fantastic runners we've gotten to commentate who have just amazing menuing. But that last Silver Rock not quite wanting to help you out there to finish off the enemy. I always get them mixed up with bandits. I don't think they're technically
the Luna bandits.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, the enemies there just not quite wanting to help him finish off that enemy. And the reason you might be wondering, hey, why is he killing some random enemies? He's just been running past everybody throughout most of the game. Well, we now have access to this Wisdom Form because we finished off the Timeless River. And Wisdom Form lets you do this little dash, the quick run here, as you can see Ninten showing off quite well. Well, in this game, whenever you get to level 3 for each individual drive form, because drive forms have their own experience, their own leveling that they can do, you'll actually unlock the movement ability associated with that drive form. And in this case, that's Quick Run. So if Ninten kills enough enemies just right, he can actually get level 3 and unlock that Quick Run ability for just regular Sora without being in a drive form by the end of this world. It's based on how many Heartless you kill rather than experience points you gain. And,
so I just want to point out there that I don't know if many people know, but you can actually, it's hard to tell, but you can push a boo, yeah.
I was wondering, dude. I was like, is he pushing the monkey?
Yeah, you can push a boo, but it's kind of risky because the ice and everything, but
I couldn't even tell. It was
it's hard to notice.
I played this out. I could tell it was very slightly faster. That was sick. All right, so now we get access to, for a lot of people, maybe the most single most broken ability and the best utility item in Kingdom Hearts 2, that being Reflect. As enemies attack you, you can guard yourself with the Reflect, and then based on what attack hit that Reflect, it'll then put out a bunch of damage in a shockwave effect. So you see right here, he's actually baiting out various attacks from the Fat Bandit right here. That's what he calls himself. I did not offend him right there. But in order to then, in the shockwave from the Reflect, kill the other small enemies around him. Now, as we're dropping down, we got these 2 final sorcerer enemies right here. He's going to time his swing on the aerial spiral to catch this first enemy, lock onto the second one, reflect that attack back, and then Trinity snap up to him as the Reflect explosion goes off to actually hit him with all the damage and get that very instant kill right there. Good stuff right there by Ninten.
It's just so, I love that strat. There's some things where everything just perfectly lines up just as you would hope it would, and it always looks great to pull off. But now you can see we are back into Wisdom form, got that blue coat on Sora here, and that is because there are lots of small enemies here. And as I was getting to before, it's actually the number of Heartless you kill that determines when this dry form is going to level up, not the amount of experience you get. So all of these small enemies that die very quickly, perfect for leveling up Wisdom form. He got out of it now, though, that he's gotten that level 3. He's going to use some regular reflex and then swap Goofy back into the party so he can reflect the first attack from the Fat Bandits here and then use Trinity. And hopefully, if all goes well, they should all die from this
kill, I think. Yep. Nice.
Very nice. And that's a very scary reflect right there, because those Fat Bandits, again, they call themselves that, can very easily kill you, but more importantly, can kill Donald very quickly. So you have to know how long to hold that reflect up to get all that reflect damage off, but then go into the Trinity to actually then combo it. So, and now already we're at the end of Agrabah. We have got the Blizzard and Fire Lords right here. Going into Donald's new limit that we just learned, Comet right here. Again, giving you those iframes all throughout it. Going into Donald's finisher on the Comet immediately so you can break all the tiny little lords that they each spawn into, getting them back into their big forms basically immediately. And now, as he breaks this ice form, he's going to then use a Valor Explosion to kill all of the small lords that it breaks into, again, keeping those inside of our crowd control boundaries, now taking them out with the finishers, shortening each of those, knowing when it's gonna break them. This should finish off the Fire Lord. Oh, he's got just a little chicken nuggets worth of health left.
Oh, Donald.
Needed. Donald has fallen. I believe ordinarily you want to potentially use his limit at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say Comet, but he was like, I think he was on top of the fire, so when I potioned him, he just died again.
Oh, no.
What a terrible fate. I'm
It's funny how sometimes you actually end up potioning your allies, the thing that casually everybody wants them to do to you, in order to keep them alive, so that way you can have strats based off of their limits and go faster. It's a cool thing, but you know, if Donald dies on top of a fire pit, not a whole lot you can do about it on critical mode.
And just God, this game is so fast on PS4. Next gummy mission, Sakura, give me some more donations if you got them.
Absolutely. We have a $1,200 donation.
Wow.
Let's go.
Golf claps in the back.
Daxum, which reads, "Hey Ninten, is this a good spot to find some ingredients?"
Oh no.
We also have a $5 donation from Shikamaru, which reads, "This $5 hype train needs more steam. Let's go." So we do have a donation train going right now. Get those $5 donations in quick so we can get Spike to sing. We also have an anonymous $500 donation with no comment.
Nice.
And an $18 donation from Danstad, which reads, "Danstad wants to see Sephiroth get his butt kicked. Stay safe and keep on grooving, all." We also have a $200 donation from Dr. Creature, which reads, "It makes me happy to see an event like this happening during such a crazy time. I couldn't tune into a lot of it, but I wanted to get a donation in before the end. Good luck in the final run, and remember to wash your hands."
Thank you.
We also have a $10 donation from Akiro Hikage that says, "Saku on mic, Spike sings, and a small 75K for Saku to sing. PPE get." We also have a $25 donation from the Large Bandit, which says, "I feel offended by the name Square Enix gave me. I'm a large bandit, thank you very much."
Fun fact, there's another enemy called a large body.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
For some reason, it didn't really hit it off with the kids' big-boned bandit, so they settled for the shorter name.
That would have been so good. Oh, man. Sakura, keep
Yeah,
going.
absolutely. We have a $25 donation from Gleam Eyes, which reads, "As an essential retail worker, I'm 100% for raising money to help those who help save lives. Don't lose heart, everyone." And a $250 donation from Hungry Coder, This is Kingdom Hearts was one of my favorite games growing up. So much fun to watch it being speedrun, and for such a worthy cause as well. Let's get enough to see Sephiroth get smacked around. Oh, we have a $50 donation from Mike Uyama.
Ooh.
Yeah. $5 donation train.
himself.
Here's 10 train cars, because I think everyone, including me, wants to hear Spike Vegeta sing. I've heard him at karaoke, and it's quite a treat. I'd love to hear that story sometime.
Nah, the real story is you got to hear Mike at karaoke.
I was about to say, oh, you want to enter the jungle with Mike Uyama's voice. Oh my God. It is legendary. Y'all in chat, 32,000 of you. I hope y'all come to the next karaoke session because it's insane. God, he's so good.
Oh boy. Okay, going
This
into
is
Halloween
Halloween,
Town
though.
here. Yeah, there's a lot going on in Halloween Town in the first visit, and they're gonna first pop in here in the graveyard, gonna be heading over towards the laboratory. We now have access to the genie summon because we have, been to the Aladdin's world. We've been to Agrabah, and it's going to come in handy immediately. We're actually going to use it, but not for the reason you might expect. It's actually going to use it in order to get rid of the party members, make sure they don't either take any targeting or help attack these, and now he's dead.
And he's dead. Yeah, because almost any other formation would have possibly hit the enemies, would have tried to heal you or something. Genie's like, nah, I'm good. You got to use a wish, my dude. So, yeah, Genie's actually going to get some more standard usages throughout the run. I love Genie. He's like the most swag summon of all time. And he's actually got a bunch of different forms based on your different drive forms you have access to. And we're going to be utilizing a bunch of them. All right, so we got this fight right here. We need to get to level 18. We need to initiate experience boost. So we actually are going to take some intentional damage right here to get under half health. That initiates the ability experience boost. And then utilizing Jack's dance call limit as those enemies are falling in, it magnetizes them in. And then you can utilize the different parts of Jack's limit in order to kill both of them, get that double experience on both of them, already a lot of experience at the base, to get to level 18 and have that strength increase for the upcoming boss fights.
You got me thinking about a world in which you could only use Genie's summon 3 times now. Because of the 3 wishes.
Because they're wishes, yeah.
Oh no, dude.
That'd be ridiculous.
Dude, and knowing video gamers, he'd be like, you can use me 3 times. All right, I will never use you. I'll
3 on the
board you till
final
the
boss.
end of the game.
But there might be another boss after this final boss.
We don't know.
That's true. Similarly, ethers, elixirs, and all that kind of stuff is fantastic in RPG speedrunning, and in this game in particular. But we're not going to worry too much about that right now as we're heading into Prison Keeper. Dance Call is going to make an appearance once again with the Jack limit here pretty soon. You saw Ninten actually prepping it in the menu before entering into this fight. But first, she's going to be using lots of combos to keep this boss staggered all over the place. You can see him kind of retaliating a lot and actually being able to deflect the attack there by using aerial recovery after taking a hit to just make sure that you get a lot of height is super cool. Dance Call now is used to deal quite a bit of damage to the boss while keeping him nice and stunned. And then we're going to go in to the next phase here, Spike.
Yeah, about to say, now actually aggressive strike here, going to be using Valor Form to deal a bunch of damage and get us through this last phase as quickly as possible, getting that DPS up. You can see those finishers doing a ton of damage right now. A lot of it due to that Hero's Crest, having that air combo boost on it, just strengthening the power of our air combo finishers. Already down to 1.5 bars under that right now. And now already he wants to be refilling that drive gauge. So he actually utilizes a limit right there just so he can be in MP charge so that drive gauge refills faster. So as you can see, he's already, he's getting away from him. He's gonna get off the guard. He never saw it coming. He did.
Every time Ninten's like, oh no, the fight lasts 2 seconds long. Like,
it's like, for me, it means, oh no, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
We're just cycling. Ninten's like, I didn't pull off world record at the marathon. So, but with that, you can see how quickly we went from only 1 bar of drive to over 2 bars filled up. Wants to get back to 3 bars in order to utilize Chicken Little, a summon, in this next boss fight with Oogie Boogie. And Oogie Boogie, he's a bit of a doozy. Quite a long boss fight. After you use that quick warp right there, saving just a few seconds. Even though we moved like one total load screen, still saved a couple seconds because PS4 load screens are so fast.
And now we got the Oogie Boogie fight, which is not everybody's favorite fight
Nice
most
double.
of the time.
I didn't know you could double those. That was great.
Yeah.
Dude, the double golf swing. Everybody hits 2 golf balls at once, right?
Right.
But yeah, so Oogie Boogie
What
here
course
works
do you
by-
play at?
You actually can't deal any damage to him when he's up in the glass cage. You saw Ninten using a bunch of thunders. Might go, well, why use thunders if you can't deal any damage? Once again, he wants to get into that MP recharge so he can refill that drive gauge faster to get to Chicken Little. So you first have to hit a bunch of these presents. I believe it is 10 to move on to the first time that you can damage the boss here. Now just a full combo and should be able to push him into the next spot. You can see he's up to 3 drive gauges now, so he can summon Chicken Little, so we're safe there, and that MP is almost back in case he needs it. Now another 10 presents, but this time Oogie Boogie's going to switch what platform he's on at one point, and this punching arm is super deadly. It's actually a one-hit KO, I believe. If not, it's
It is for sure.
Very scary. So Ninten wants to be always hearing out for his audio cues, knowing when to keep away from that. If you stay right up against it, you shouldn't get hit, but sometimes in trying to close that gap pretty quickly, you can die in a marathon in front of a bunch of people, which I've never done in this fight.
So right here, I didn't kill that Heartless that spawns, and because of that, he's not going to summon presence here like he usually would. And that saves maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah, super cool optimization in a fight that is otherwise a pretty set amount of time. A lot of the time, so super cool to see that. Now pushed him into the 3rd phase because of course those conveyor belts are going to get a little bit faster for a moment, and he's going to actually swap which conveyor belt he's on again. First he goes back to the center, so Ninten actually knew that it was going to show up in the center there since he got that for just based on the way that he did the fight basically. And now a few more golf swings while there's just lightning raining down on you. You actually get invulnerability while you're using the golf swing reaction command, but you don't get it coming out of it. So you could get hit by the lightning if your position is not too great. So first he's just going to keep working on this boss, taking out all the little dice here.
And another small thing to mention is that I was keeping the camera on that Heartless response even after I skipped the first present part, because I skipped a second area that he summons presents. But you have to kind of keep the camera focused on the Heartless to do it. It's kind of like a really small optimization.
Nice RNG right there that Oogie did just move to the center platform for this last set of presents. He can move then over again, wasting just a few seconds, but if you react to it quickly, it won't waste too much time. And now 2 more sets of air combos. Again, that Hero's Crest with the air combo plus, doing good work with that finishing, that aerial finisher. Nice job by Ninten. Not losing 4 minutes to die.
Yeah,
late.
That's the longest step.
Easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy to get caught by the lightning streaks that are going by on the floor. You get caught by it and then it just combos you and you get stun locked forever and die. It's a great feeling. But with that, we are actually done with our first half of Disney World. So we're already over halfway through the run time-wise, guys. So if you guys want to see that level 1 Sephiroth fight in addition to the Disney singing, we need to get those donations going. But Ninten here, going into the Sandlot fight, this is a quick visit to this world, just 1 fight. And utilizing Magnet and Genie here in this fight.
Yeah, this is a cool fight that can go horribly, horribly wrong if you're just not too careful, or if things just happen to work out that way. But first, it's going to be using Magnet and Genie. Magnet is the 2nd most broken magic in this game, right behind Reflect. You can use it to pull the enemies in, similar to what we were using Chicken Little for earlier. But also, every time an enemy gets pulled into a magnet, it's going to take a small, very small amount of chip damage. But there are a lot of abilities you can use in this game in order to make things take a lot of chip damage.
That was nice.
Wow, that was super cool. Yeah, so that we talked earlier about how Group Trinity, it doesn't deal any damage in the first part of it. It really doesn't. We promise. But if they're in a magnet, they actually get pushed out of the magnet by the hit from the Group Trinity, and then pulled back in by the magnet effect, dealing a little bit of chip damage, and then that just happens 60 times in a second, and suddenly the fight's over. It's the coolest thing, just pure mechanics-wise. It's one of the coolest things about this fight, this game's combat, and we're going to use it in a bunch of different different ways throughout the entire run now that we have Magnet.
Yeah, that's a top 5 best strat in this game. That just, those Berserkers, another very, very annoying, powerful enemy that players have to deal with. And they just get absolutely dismantled by that combo. It's great. So now getting a big jump into the air and going into wisdom form. I love this movement right here, utilizing those fires to just keep yourself in the air and not have any slow ledge grabs or anything. Again, Hobbs, you always talk about the movement tech in this game. It's subtle, but it looks very good.
Yeah, I love it's one of my favorite things about speedrunning is creativity in using ways that the game get all the tools the game gives you in ways that you would never think of. Like to use lightning in order to just rise Sora up just a little bit, just enough to avoid grabbing that ledge, which is in relative terms a very slow animation. It's just super cool. Even shooting, you're just swagging at me.
That was swag. I'm not letting him get away with that one. That was swag, shooting back at those enemies. But again, just a little bit more optimal. You want to cut out landing animations whenever you can, ledge grab animations. It's really cool stuff.
Just showing off for the people now. I love it. I love it. All of these fires, and note, he doesn't have fire shortcutted to or mapped to a shortcut right now. He doesn't have it on his L1 button. So he actually has to manually move the D-pad down and menu the fire while trying to make sure his camera and position, all of his angles are exactly spot on. So it's one of those multitasking things that is a little tricky to get down in Kingdom Hearts when you're playing casually and even when you first start speedrunning the game. But mastery over it can really help you out in a lot of situations, not only planned ones like that, but when you need to recover from something unexpected.
Yeah, throughout the speedrun, you need to get used to moving their character while moving the command menu at the same time.
Yeah, I know that personally I would often pull my right thumb over to the left analog stick so I can use my left thumb for the D-pad, or maybe you're gonna use your index finger on on your left hand to come down to the D-pad. It's totally weird, and every runner has their own ways of doing it, but it's a neat little skill that is you often don't get to highlight too much.
All right, now we've got just a little mini game right here. There's not too much doing it fast. It is random where this is going to spawn. It spawned right next to Ninten. So it's going to actually, if you just understand that it's always going to go in about 2.1 full rotations, you just time your wisdom explosion right there to be right next to it, and that counts as a finisher, and the mini game done. So good stuff. Good marathon luck right there, because a lot of times it'll spawn on the other side, and you have to walk over to it before it'll start moving. So now we get thrown back, we meet up with Mickey, and we get Master Form right there, which again affects those anti-points for the anti-form that we were talking about earlier. Every time you get a new drive form, that will drop your anti-points to 0, starting that over. Once that anti-point number gets big enough, then there is a percentage chance that you will get anti-form in boss fights, and we never want to see it in the course of a run.
Oh, yeah. Never in a fight. We are going to see anti-form, but during a very planned...
Oh, I almost got hit by that.
Ooh, that was tricky, dude, yeah. That yellow enemy. So there are 2 phases to the light cycle fight, minigame, whatever you want to call it here.
Sure.
Race, sure. And the second phase, totally consistent. Always 100% enemies are going to spawn in the same spots, and as long as you do everything the same, it should be totally fine unless you go for some ridiculously advanced strats that I think Nintendo's going to do. But the first part, absolutely random what types of enemies are going to show up. So if you get one that's going to attack you when you're not quite ready for it, it can be scary, and it can actually hit you, and it won't kill you in 1 hit, but you will only take 2 hits in this. So Nintendo's going to do a Sook strat where he bounces off the enemy. These enemies are generally a kind of rock, paper, scissors mechanic where the green enemies that bring up a shield are supposed to stop you from attacking them. They actually want you to use your kind of slam, your charge attack to take them out, or just ignore them and move on. But the way that they stop you from attacking them is by deflecting you in the opposite direction, which is super useful when there's not a wall there. So it's great for just catching up a little bit of speed, but if you ever mess it up, you're gonna slam into a wall, take a lot of damage. So it's a very risky strat, but a super cool one.
Yeah, slamming into the wall actually deals about 80% of your health bar right now. So very, very scary. Don't want to be seeing that. So good to see Ninten with the good timing. Now here we are.
You can get another one right there, but he didn't give me the best RNG.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a third one there.
Yeah, you just have to get lucky. Yeah, he does a shield.
2020 strats.
Yeah, the enemies are always going to spawn the same ones, but not always going to use the attacks the exact same way. Guess I didn't clarify that earlier.
Yeah, the
Now we
white
have
ones are kind of the
Tron.
jack of all trades.
Tron has joined the party.
And now, one nice thing I love about, I think a lot of the good RPG speedruns out there know how to basically never have a grinding segment. We are going to have one grinding segment for about 60 seconds here. It'll be very efficient. That was actually an intentional hit that Ninten not only took, but also correctly baited out from that soldier right there, putting him under half health. Again, we have experience boost equipped, which means you gain double the experience from all enemies you kill when you're under half experience. So right here, gonna be trying to go from level 18 all the way to level 23 in about a minute and a half long stretch. So pretty insane stuff right here.
How in the world did you walk around that one ring?
Stitch always deflects them for me.
Yeah, it was so funny the way that the camera was lined up. It looked like you literally like circled it. You walked around it. But yeah, like Spike said, he's gonna get all the monitors ready, and then just if he needs to farm experience, like we're seeing here, just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, Stitch, unfortunately, being a little unkind to him right now. Yeah, Stitch can, I'm not making this up, he can lick you. You can see it on the screen. He licks him and then can refill your MP off of that. So you want to see Stitch, ideally just constantly stay over there and do that, because you're going to be utilizing these these reflect into magnet combos, reflecting their initial attack, magnet into finishing leap, that attack where Sora kind of punches the ground, dealing a ton of AoE damage to each of these enemies.
Yeah,
so he's doing a good job now.
Magnet's another one of those types of magic that acts like a finisher, like I talked about before. So you actually can't normally do a magnet into a finishing leap, another finisher. But because we have finishing plus, as things are getting just a little scary at the end there. Because finishing plus is on from this being critical mode, you actually can do a second finisher on your combo, and that includes the one magic finisher being magnet and then finishing leap being the second one.
So here it is, Ninten's at level 23. Wanted to make sure he was, about that distance from level 24 before ending the fight. Stitch was unfortunately trolling us a little bit right there. That's why his number of usages have gone down to that.
Yeah, we never use them again.
Yeah, hopefully he just keeps that MP nice and filled when you're doing runs, but Ninten dealing with it as he could. And now making our way over to the boss fight of Space Paranoids, we have got the hostile program. I feel like this is really the fight where the run kind of kicks it up a notch, and it stays intense throughout the rest of the run. One more safety piece of armor right here, the Gaia Belt. Be equipping that here in just a little bit in the Hollow Bastion 3 segment.
Yeah, again, something you theoretically could skip. I believe Ninten does skip a lot of the time, but it's like, don't.
Right. Yeah, and actually, it makes a big difference because it has thunder resistance, I believe. And a lot of bosses in this game actually use it.
All right, so right here, there's manipulation going on with Ninten by staying in front of the hostile program right there. It kind of pushes him up against the wall to make sure all of the finisher of Donald's Comet will hit him and break through those initial HP gates. Now dropping down into limit form. This is a Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix exclusive form right here, basically calling on Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora's different limit forms. So you can see doing a ton of damage with that Infinity right there, picking up a ton of orbs. Now he's going to wait, freeze him at the exact time that'll put him right in front of him, haha, idiot, setting him up for another Donald Comet into a bunch of Sora air combos, and then drop off the finisher, and before he even gets to move, he did.
So good. That's another one of those fights where there's just so many moving parts and lots of different things that you're using throughout the fight. It's just, I love when all those strats just pull together and manage to work out, which are a lot of bosses in this game, as it turns out.
All right, and again, this is a tough mid-game. We're coming to the end of the mid-game portion of the run, as I like to consider it. Going now into this next fight, we've got a combination of Heartless and Nobodies that Ninten's going to have to take out. Going to be using a lot of those magnet into finishing leap combos once again. At one point, he's going to summon Chicken Little because he wants to make sure he has a lot of good drive at this point in the run. He's already got over 3 bars at this point. Bring in Chicken Little, hopefully going to catch a reflect on that Crimson Jazz right there, good stuff. That Crimson Jazz can be very deadly, and off that reflect into another magnet, doing a ton of damage. And now with Chicken Little out, now going into the next fight, taking away those party members, that's going to go ahead and give him a full refund on his drive bar, as he's going to be spawning Chicken Little again, going into another very scary set of enemies, these dancers right here, who have a grab command that can one-shot you. So we're going to try to keep them stun locked inside of those magnet finishing leap aerial spiral combos as long as possible. Taking out the first wave, we got one dancer with a bunch of creepers right here. Chicken Little doing his work.
This fight's super scary. Can quickly get back up to the max drive gauge there as you take out all of the enemies with, again, that Trinity, and often with Magnet being tied to it like we talked about before. Now that drive gauge being back up is important because it's going to be useful right away as we have the final fight with Demix here, the real proper fight where you actually get to hit him instead of just dealing with the clones here.
We do have the water clones at the start. As you can see, he starts with 50 water clones. We want to get to about 30 of them. And then from there, that'll set us up in a good range where we're going to be able to use 2 forms worth of Trinity. Yeah, Ninten doing a good job of backing up a little bit right there. Wants to make sure he's under 5 forms, because then that'll extend this finisher into actually dealing damage to Demix. And you can see he just did like literally half of his health in one go right there. And now knocking him up into the air so he can have plenty of time to do his menuing, get off that limit form, and start an Ars Arcanum. Ars Arcanum is great because it doesn't add revenge value, a mechanic we'll talk about here in just a little bit, as long as you don't do the finisher. And then going into the Donald Comet finisher. Very nice.
I didn't even need it there. Wow. I got really good damage on the Trinity.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like he died quicker than we're used to, actually.
Yeah, it's ridiculously good. You have to be really careful with that Trinity. If you do too much too early, you'll kill all the clones, and you'll actually over damage the boss. It's not exactly the right way of describing it, but it's kind of what happens. And then the whole script is ruined. You have to try to come up with something on the fly. But it's not over yet. In fact, we might see Demix again if there were to be a death, but it's not going to happen, everybody. No, definitely not. I hope we have the Final Fantasy fights here. There are 4 different platforms for Final Fantasy characters that you're going to fight with. Yuffie is generally the kind of easier one you're not as worried about dying with. They're going to use these reaction commands when possible, and you can see MP gauge already gone, already pink down there, meaning it's recharging. Not going to be able to use any magic for this next platform, except he is, because he just used the limit form drive form there. That's going to refill the MP, and you could stay in limit form and actually use it, but he just dismisses it, so in that way he can use all these reaction commands and his normal attacks. Getting hit a little bit by the shadows here, but nothing too bad.
Oh, I thought I died there.
Yeah, we got these Morningstar enemies. Another very powerful enemy. Wants to make sure he stays focused on him, keeps him immobile, and takes him down. And utilizing these vicinity breaks into flash steps and sliding dashes, or slide dashes, in order to take them out. Now we go into the 3rd phase of the Final Fantasy fights, refilling his MP with an ether first. Gonna get right on top of these enemies, try to bait out an attack, getting that Rising Sun command to destroy as many of these Morning Stars as possible. Tifa, good job. Oh my God.
There was even a safety guard that Ninten threw in there, and actually the guard whiffed, which is one of the scariest times that you can have as a Kingdom Hearts runner, because as long as your guard connects, you can generally chain it into a lot more invulnerability, but if it misses, you are open to die. Luckily though, did not happen. The enemy jumped right on over Ninten, and then Tifa did a fantastic job. Knew that her and Cloud had to bring it home for they just had their big game release, so it's their time to shine, and Cloud is actually going to do a lot of the work here. Ninten is using the limit form once again, because it actually levels up by using finishers of the limits in limit form. So he got it to level 2, and he's just going to let Cloud deal a lot of damage while also helping out with some reaction commands and Magnet and the like.
Yeah, just like I did this week, Cloud is going to be spamming triple strike all day on these nerds, taking them down, and we are out of the Final Fantasy fights. Demix is officially dead. We do not have to go back. Good job, Ninten there.
Yeah, that was the longest death you could possibly have in a run. If you die to Cloud, you have to go way back before Demix.
All the way back. It's ridiculous. There's no point there at all for safety in between Demix and the Final Fantasy fights. But now we have 1000 Heartless. It goes from one dangerous fight to another. There are literally 1,000 Heartless in this fight. He's going to kill 1,000 Heartless. He's going to do that mostly by using these reaction commands, the Sparkle Ray from these sentries whose names I always forget. And when he is looking for that reaction command, when it's not quite happening because the enemy's just not working out with him, he has to make sure that he doesn't die to all these armored knights. So he's going to do that by using Reflect where he can, but if he ever runs out of MP, he's going to have to either refill that with his drive form or have to come up with some other strategies like deflecting them with slide dashes or other attacks. Nice adaptation there after taking a slight hit, because the sentries, while they are going to give you this Sparkle Ray when you snag them, like they are super useful for damage, if you don't snag them, they can be extra scary. There's another thing he just did there with the Thunder spell. What was that, Spike?
Yeah, the Thunder will actually cancel this longer animation by the enemies, so then he can go right up and use the reaction command. If you try to spam it in the initial window of the reaction command, then Sora will just completely whiff and you're very much exposed, taking a ton of damage. This is very scary to be in this fight without an MP bar right now. It is charging back, it's just about back, but keep in mind Ninten was in this position at less than 500 Heartless killed, and he survived all the way to now with a little over 100 left to go. Now he can go right back into Thunder in order to stagger them out of that longer animation. Yeah,
and that's another one of those spots where Ninten just recognized, okay, I'm at full health. Even though I'm out of MP, I can quickly menu to limit form to get an instant health and MP refill as soon as I start taking damage. I'm sure that was on his mind. I'm right, Ninten?
Yeah, you're right.
Ready for it. Yeah. Just one of those extra things you got to think about during the fight that's already terrifying.
I try to reflect a lot at the start too, so I can have my drive back in case I need to use limit form. But I could have limited whenever I needed to.
And when you don't really get hit in that fight, it doesn't look too difficult. It looks like, oh, you just spam the same reaction command. It just goes over and over. But you easily can get hit and get comboed to death in that one. It's as soon as you start to take damage, you have a big chance of dying if you don't stop that damage from happening via limit form.
And that's actually a big reason why we got the Dream Shield at the beginning of the game, because we get once more right before that fight. So if we get comboed by the lasers, we survive at 1 HP.
Yeah, but you could easily take another hit in the back from an armored knight if you don't recover quickly enough. So it is super scary, even though it did look like it went really well. But now we're back into Beast Castle because we're revisiting those Disney Worlds, aren't we, Spike?
Yep, right here. The first of 5 Disney Worlds we're going to have to go back to, but not actually finish right away here in Beast Castle. Yeah, jumping up in the air at the beginning. I don't believe that was an intended hit, that Nintendo.
No.
But got EXP boost actually off all those enemies conveniently enough. Yeah, but jumping up, catching them in the magnet, and once again using that magnet plus Trinity combo right there to deal a lot of damage by knocking the enemies constantly in and out of the Trinity, or of the magnet combo. So with that, we're just gonna be doing a little bit more not really RNG manipulation, I would say, but we're gonna put everything in our favor for some EXP routing later on. You saw him screen transition there a couple of extra times, and that's gonna cause these enemies called bulky vendors to show up later on in the run. In one screen in particular, 2 if needed. And we can kill those bulky vendors very quickly for a ton of EXP.
Yeah, it's a weird quirk that for a while had not been found yet, where the bulky vendors would spawn randomly. We knew which rooms they could spawn in, but whether they did spawn or not was random. And then it turns out that if you do that, those extra screen transitions, they will consistently spawn in the same locations for the rest of the run, which means that, like, even though it might not be technically the fastest if you got optimal luck, it is consistently faster than the average, so it's way better to go for overall. Now we're back into Port Royal, which means Magic is our friend again. Actually has the Rumbling Rose Keyblade on now too, and that's something that's used for an extra finisher. It actually has an additional finishing plus on it, so the combos that Ninten starts can now have 3 finishers at the end of them, including magic combos. That's really important. It's actually why he left Beast Castle early instead of completely finishing it off. Because this Rumbling Rose Keyblade is just really useful, and we want a few more levels before fighting Zaldin.
All right, right, so now we have got the first of the 2 Grim Reaper fights right here. We're gonna have another instance here. We're gonna try to have one long combo. We're gonna understand those revenge values really well for when he's going to retaliate. Go into a start combos off with Blizzard into a full combo. Now we're gonna use up all our MP, keeping him frozen at the end, and now going to Master Form, the swaggest form in the world in all of speedrunning. So now he's going to end a combo with Blizzard, which kind of resets his revenge value a little bit, and then utilizing those reflects in the middle of the combo so that he can get to the finishers of Master, which again has 3 finishers on it because of Rumbling Rose. And then stun locking him. Oh, unfortunately, not being able to quite stun lock him all the way, but if gone well, you can keep him locked the entire time with that Donald Comet coming out of the Master Form.
Again, every time Ninten's just like, oh, almost a perfect fight. Instead, just, you know, slightly suboptimal. He teleported once, whatever. Luckily, not even in danger of dying there. Now that we're in Port Royal 2, he is going to have to deal with a little mini game of sorts that kind of spans multiple screens. So he's going to be fighting this gambler. When he fights this enemy here, he'll actually drop a medallion. You need to recover these medallions that, if you've watched Pirates of the Caribbean, makes sense for the story. You got to recover all of them in order to basically get to the next fight, in order to get to the next boss fight. So there are actually different places where you can get medallions, multiple different ones, but we have it like routed out so that you get just the fastest ones. Every time you use the ship to travel like that, you're going to get ambushed by Heartless, and Ninten went under the ship, like just went into the hold there in order to skip out on that ambush fight and just move straight on to the next medallion, this gambler here, which is much faster.
Yeah, once again, utilizing a magnet to sort of attack him inside of a combo of that. Getting another one here where he's going to get him caught, and then utilizing these aerial combos, especially horizontal slash, which is just the swaggest looking air hit. This game has all the swag. And it's got a lot of substance to it as well, but I love the look of horizontal slash. Being able to knock out up to 2 of them. I don't know really what the deal with that pirate was, but it's okay. And now we go into our last gambler right here, which we're first going to want to pull out Stitch. Really just any of our summons, just so we can have a full drive gauge going into the next
is he gonna do it?
He's heading over.
I don't know.
It didn't look like it, but maybe. Dang.
Rip. Stitch, you had one job, and then we gave you a second job, and you failed that one too, but it's okay. Here we are in Grim Reaper 2, the boss of Port Royal 2. Again, these 5 Disney revisits, they go by real fast. Gonna start off with first freezing him. He's effectively like a big pirate. He gets frozen just like pirates do, and will also be affected by stuff like thunder as well. So make sure all the coins are in the chest.
Yeah, he's actually invulnerable until you put the coins in the chest, and he can only be affected by magic, really. If you attack with physical hits, he'll drop magic orbs, though, which can come into play. Now, we've got Genie out here in order to help, but the boss is going to go into the next phase first, so we're going to have to get those medallions back out of him. Do that with a Reflect to avoid taking damage into the reaction command here. It's going to use some extra thunders now that the boss is still off screen up in the air to get the rest of the medallions out. Luckily, the boss didn't spawn on top of him, so he didn't pick up any more. So now he can make him vulnerable again and use Donald's Comet.
Stun lock him, horizontal slash, 2 horizontal slashes into another pop of Donald's Comet. He will not get to move, ladies and gentlemen. Keep hitting him, keep hitting him, keep hitting him. Hitting into that second phase, and now he's got this big attack he's going to be using. He's going to try to keep Donald over here in the corner. He'll be ready to throw a potion at Donald or Jack if needed, and then use Master Form before it slams down. And now watch that number go from 882 to 0 in mere seconds.
Yeah.
Going to be utilizing the Master Form Thunder.
Yeah, Master Form needs your party members alive, both of them, in order to activate. So that's why he had to go ahead and throw the potion. They needed to time it before that slam happened, because it easily could have killed one of them. But knocks all of the medallions out. Boss is vulnerable again, and horizontal slash, everybody. It's just great. Being followed up by
that was a really good fight.
It was a fantastic fight. Yeah, that was just super cool to see that those strats all come together.
Yeah, we didn't even bring it up in the first phase of that fight, but you saw Ninten throw out about 20 horizontal slashes in a row on the first form. That was with Genie out. It's a technique You might see it one other time, I think, in the course of this run, just called Genie canceling, where if you can menu very quickly to change Genie to other forms, it can sort of reset your combo while you're going through. So you can just go horizontal slash, horizontal slash, horizontal slash for just a long time. That effectively allowed him to stun lock the first phase of the boss. Beautiful stuff right there. Now making our way up to Lock, Shock, and Barrel here in Halloween Town 2, the shortest of the Disney worlds.
Yeah, the fights just keep on rolling here, so we haven't had a chance for donations, really. So I just want to pop in and make sure that everybody knows we are still not quite to that level 1 critical mode Sephiroth fight yet, but we got enough people watching here where if everybody just donated just a little bit, like $2, we'd actually get there in no time, and we would raise even more money for direct relief. Fantastic cause helping out during this pandemic. So please, everybody, would love to see that happen. It's such a cool fight. And if you get just a little bit higher, Spike's actually going to sing a Disney song, but there's only one gummy mission left. So you have to get it in before then or he's not going to get a chance.
All right. Pulling out, we said Stitch. Stitch getting one more try right here. We're actually going to pick up those 2 bulky vendors that we said we manipulated at the beginning of the run. Taking an intentional hit right here. Hopefully Stitch keeps us safe with his Ohana attack right there. And then being able to get the second bulky vendor, which gives a bunch of experience twice because it is EXP boosted. So picking up a ton of experience in that situation. Yeah, can we see a little $5 chain in chat? That'd be pretty sick in my opinion.
That'd easily get us past that Sephiroth incentive. Remember, folks, when you're donating, put it towards that incentive too, because we really want to see that. It's such a fun fight. Plus, he was taunting us. Sephiroth was taunting us.
Yeah.
We can't let that.
Sephiroth's my favorite fight in the game.
Yeah, it's and you want to see top players fight that.
Nice little grab of the presents there. If you don't finish it off, get that present and finish off those White Knight enemies quickly enough, then things are going to go wrong very quickly because the larger graveyard enemies will pick up the presents and basically just start knocking you around and moving all over the place. So good strats there to make sure that it happens quickly. And now we have a little RNG section. Nintendo's just going to be shooting all of these presents, and you can get small, big, or large, or small, medium, or large ones. He wants to see as many large ones as possible, but now seems like a good time, Sakura, for a quick check-in on that incentive and maybe some donations here.
Yeah, absolutely. We are at 36,252 out of 75,000. We still have a ways to go. We did get
we can make it. I believe
absolutely. We have a $10 donation actually from Cloud Strife, who says, I'm beginning to think the Sephiroth guy might be bad news. It sure would be nice if Ninten could take care of him for me. That's only going to happen if we can get to that incentive.
The game's even trying to help you. I'm pretty sure that was like the worst RNG possible.
We didn't even see the largest box we could grab.
I know. I'm glad I forgot to mention that there were 4 types of presents because it didn't matter. The 4th one didn't show up. But we're into the experiment fight, and I know, Spike, you love this one too, even though it's super easy to die in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where we're going to see the single best limit in the game. We've got Duck Flare. For whatever reason, this is way stronger on English. It just lasts a lot longer and does a ton of damage. So we're going to be starting off with one of them. Basically, if you like July 4th, this is your kind of limit, because rockets be a-flying in this fight. So we're going to be holding those rockets, going into the finisher, and then spamming as many aerial spirals as we can. Aerial spiral, for whatever reason, does more damage while in this. Now trying to get a break on this first phase of the fight, guarding him in the correct spot, and then by being in that correct spot, it'll knock him back into the face, ending that invulnerability phase. Throwing 2 ethers real quick into another Duck Flare. About to go into another finisher. If this all goes well, we're going to go into 3 straight Duck Flares right here. Throwing 2 more ethers. Reflect that into a Blizzard, into a finishing leap, into the Duck Flare, into aerial spiral. Beautiful stuff right here. And this boss, he's done.
So good, man. I love Duck Flare. It's just really, really good, really powerful, and especially on the PS4 version and English version. Okay, Agrabah.
Ooh, Sakura, do we have a little
We
update?
do. We have reached 350,000, so you will be singing.
That's good. We have a gummy mission coming up in the form of a carpet ride pretty soon.
Well, we are not there yet. Remember, we still need some more donations towards the Sephiroth crit level 1 incentive. So keep those donations rolling in. Do not stop.
Not good.
Yeah, as stupid as I am about to sound, Ninten will look much cooler in the Sephiroth fight. You guys want to see it. Unbelievable having a deathless run so far, not to jinx him or anything, because going in, we have two of the worst fights in the game. I hate these carpet fights. You're obviously a lot more limited on your abilities, what you can use, no limits or anything, but gonna try to kind of push the enemies up against this invisible wall right here. Actually using an arrow blade.
Yeah, that was the first for me too.
Right from Rapid Thrusters. Okay, and he's played the game 3 or 4 times in his life, so you know that
just
means
a couple,
something.
here and there. But now you're just kind of chasing Jafar down. He's going to stop at very scripted, planned points in order to start attacking you. You just got to hit him once to move him onwards. You can either hit him with a physical attack or with a magical attack. But as you can see, Ninten's in that MP recharge again, so can't use any magic till now. He's going to finish off with Thunder because it's just a little faster than slapping him with that Keyblade. Now he's going up to the top fight. This is the next fight Spike was alluding to. There are those the like fortune teller enemies, as well as the Crimson Jazz, this very large, very dangerous enemy. First you gotta deal with a couple rapid thrusters, and you can see the magnet into finishing leap is super powerful. He actually casts a second magnet while in the air. Yes, you can be in the air even though you're on a carpet that's in the air. It's grounded versus aerial makes no sense here, but you actually want to make sure you catch every enemy right as it's spawning, otherwise they're going to kill you. Ninten did a great job.
Yeah. So it's a good theme of the night. Other than 5 2-second Ninten. It's been great. So now we got a little bit of a mini game right here. I guess a mini game of sorts. I don't know, a puzzle. I don't know. You have to hit these 3 with your basic different spells. Hitting Thunder right there. Now Ninten's going to stay up in the air to actually keep a lot of Heartless from spawning in, and then moving down slowly. Going to try to get a lock on here before enemies get close. Hit it with the Blizzard from the front, and now move over to the fire switch right here. You can do these in any order you want.
Yeah, it turns out that I believe this is actually the fastest way. It definitely deals with the enemies the best. Yeah,
I believe so.
For a while, there was kind of like people could do a couple different ones, and it wasn't really too like faster or slower to do a different type. But then everybody kind of converged on this one, and now entering back into a room with no cutscene that Spike points out every time we do commentary for this, because it just feels really weird when you're running it. It feels like there should be a cutscene there. And now we're going into a carpet section, and Ninten, if you don't mind, I think this is probably a good time to hear that Disney song.
Yeah, this is a good time.
This is an auto-scroller, so.
Let's knock it out. Yeah, about to say, it's an auto-scroller, but we're going to be picking up some experience. Looking for level 30 up on the screen for Sora. All right. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things surround you. What more is you looking for? Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore they work all day, out in the sun they slave away, while we devoting full time to floating under the sea. Down here all the fish is happy, as off through the waves they roll. The fish on the land ain't happy, they sad cause they in their bowl. But fish in the bowl is lucky, they in for a worse fate. One day when the boss gets hungry, guess who gon' be on that plate? Whoa, under the sea, under the sea. Nobody beat us, fry us, and eat us in fricassee. We what the land folks love to cook. Under the sea, we offered the hook. We got no troubles, life is the bubbles. Under the sea, under the sea. Under the sea, under the sea. Since life is sweet here, we got the beat here naturally, naturally. Even the sturgeon and the ray, they get the urge and start to play. We got the spirit, you got to hear it. Under the sea. The newt plays the flute, the cop play the hop, the bass play the bass, the shoop in the shop, the bass play the brass, the chub play the tub, the flute is the Duke of Soul, yeah. The ray he can play, the lings on the strings, the trout rocking out, the blackfish he sings, the smelt and the sprout, they know where it's out, and oh that blowfish blow. I'm gonna try to speed up this last part because we're into the fight. Yeah, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. When the sardine begin to be green, it's music to me, music to me. What do they got? A lot of sand. We got a hot crustacean band. Each little clam here know how to jam here under the sea. Each little slug here caught in a runk here under the sea. Each little snail here know how to wall here. That's why it's hotter under the water. Yeah, we in luck here down in the muck here under the sea. So we're gonna punch Genie Jafar in the abs.
That was so good. Oh, Spike Vegeta, ladies and gentlemen. You don't just get a song, you get a show. All right. We got Genie Jafar here now. Ninten's just going to try to do this as quickly as he can by actually hoping to completely skip out on the DM, the desperation move that Genie Jafar can use, where basically he'll become untargetable and try to throw a lobby of attacks at you. He's doing that by not only being the right level to have an extra strength upgrade, also having Decisive Pumpkin on so that his ground attacks deal more damage, ground combos in particular, but also by dealing specific amounts of damage before going down and using that reaction command to spin Genie Jafar around. If he does all of this in quick succession, just like that, gonna finish him off with a blizzard, which is not just like, oh yeah, he was one hit away, swag finish with some magic. It's because he would have had to do a full extra combo if he didn't do that. So well done by Ninten. That rapid fire end of Under the Sea.
I looked over and went, oh, this is shorter than I thought. And it's a long song. So with that, Ninten finish up. It's kind of weird what the game checks for here to see when it allows you to go to the end of the game. It basically just kind of checks that you have the ability to go to all the Disney Worlds. A lot of people might be familiar. There's the Pride Lands from the Lion King over there on the left side. We never have to go to it, but it's there. It's contributing. We're just going because I don't want to play as Lion Sora. But All Worlds is very cool. So now we got to go finish up Beast Castle. We got one fight here before Zaldin, and that is these Dragoons fight. Another very powerful enemy, but we're coming back now with that Decisive Pumpkin, and we're a lot higher level than you're kind of supposed to be at this point. So yeah, magnets, reflects, finishing leaps. Stay away from those enemies because as they slam down, those will just about one-shot you. So we're kind of just waiting here in order to go into the reflect magnet and then duck flare just to absolutely demolish it.
I don't even know if I would say that you're higher level than supposed to be, but definitely then, like, we've done these worlds kind of in a different order than the game expects you. I think is definitely what you were getting at there.
Yes.
But now we got the Zaldin fight. This is one that has a very long desperation move as well, and a pretty dangerous one. So there's a really cool strat here involving the reaction command, the jump reaction command here, learn actually. Learning will allow you to stack up to 9 jumps, and you can see those jumps doing quite a bit of damage when in master form to have extra damage from Decisive Pumpkin and from the Rumbling Rose Keyblade, helping to give the finishing plus mostly. But just like that, it's already over, man. You use all those jumps. You used to use like 6 more jumps almost, stuff like that, but instead just duck flare.
The start of that fight is like really hard because I had to mash 9 jumps with that stab attack and then also dodge it at the same time. You have a really small window to mash 9 jumps there.
Yeah, pretty sure he hit the triangle button 9 times there in about a quarter of a second. So some pretty insane mashing you gotta do right there. I do different strats where I try to like give myself more time. Nah, dude, he's just gonna walk to the right like a boss and just mash. But now here we are in the final. We're already at the end of the Disney World Revisit segment of the run. This game goes way too fast on PS4. And now we've got these spoilers. Riku fight. Riku has got super armor right here. Nothing you do will actually stagger him or anything, so it's a little bit awkward to actually deal the damage. We're going to be utilizing the Rapid Thrusters reaction if it pops up. If it is able to catch him, then it can do some pretty big damage with the reaction boosts we've got. Other than that, we just kind of hold on, reflect his attack. And you can see doing a big bar of damage right there. And now using one of Sora's limits. Go ahead.
Yeah, limit form just to finish him off there as he gets near the end. You can use the Sonic Rave to just kind of chase him down and keep that target on him. So it does pretty well. Nice little fire with Wisdom form to get over that. Every time you use fire and Wisdom form, it's such a cool strat. Look at that. See how good they get that.
Who needs the ledge grab?
So good. Just kind of floating over some of the enemies here in order to make it to the next load zone more easily. And heading up over to the palace, the Imperial Square here. Because we got a few more fights to go before we get to the boss.
And we're going to throw up an immediate magnet into a Trinity limit. If we get this off fast enough, this is dealing the same sort of concept there, doing a ton of damage by knocking them constantly in and out of the magnet. If this was a really good combo, it can possibly kill them. It's a little bit random, but
yeah, it's just random.
Assault Riders.
Trinity is like pretty random altogether. Like you never know how many hits you're gonna get at the end of it.
And to reiterate, now that he's has Magnet, has had it for quite a bit now, pretty much every time you're going to see him use Trinity with the party members, there's going to be a Magnet up in front of it. That's why it's dealing extra damage. It's not just because of, it's not like, oh, I never used Trinity as a kid, it's so powerful. It is, but also it's because of the Magnet pulling the enemies in, dealing extra damage every single time they get pulled back in the Magnet. Now, more Reflects and Magnet as well, because Reflect, if you are hit during it, will end up retaliating, doing a bunch of damage, and then...
Weird camera angle.
I was about to say, that was cool. I've never seen that before.
I thought you did that intentionally somehow. That was great.
Yeah, it is important to note that Donald is a glass cannon. Duck Flare is unbelievably powerful, but in a lot of ways, like my boy Rio says, you gotta babysit the duck in this run. And he dies to anything, so you constantly got to be throwing potions to keep him raised as well. Getting in 2 quick hits right there before this little animation goes off from Storm Rider right there.
A little bit of extra damage. Now some ground combos, which it's pretty easy to fall off this boss, so Ninten's constantly repositioning himself between these combos and trying to make sure that he's not going to get hit by any of that lightning as well by being in that limit. So even though you're not necessarily using it for the damage, you still are. You're also using it for the invulnerability. Now the boss is going to move up in this next phase. We're going to use the Vertigo Toss. I've never read the name of that ever, but
I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Into some more Mega Duck Flares and Rocket Flares stuff, just Duck Flare limit in general. Deal lots of damage while using these horizontal slashes and full combos. And he does finish him off just there. Was worried for a moment that he was about to try to get back up, but Duck Flare got you covered.
So I wanted to get Under the Sea out of the way early for you guys because this is our final gummy mission. This run ends real fast. There's only about maybe 20 or so minutes left in the run. Maybe about closer to like 30 minutes.
About like 30, yeah.
Yeah. So, and this is the last run of CRDQ. This has been an amazing event, guys, kicking it off with Void's DKC 101% all the way till now with Ninten's Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Critical Mode run. Unbelievable run so far, but we want to get just a little more out of this. We want to take down Sephiroth at level 1 with the Kingdom Key. We want to make Sakura sing another Little Mermaid classic for you guys. So Sakura, you got 3 more minutes. Read us a bunch of donations, and everyone, let's push for that 75,000 for Sephiroth in the song.
Absolutely. We have $100 from Mike the Bike that says, well, didn't know you could speedrun a song, worth every penny. Now let's get one more song and a battle against Sephiroth. We also have an anonymous $50 donation who says, get that on Spotify. We also have a $1,000 donation from Shy Guy 32.
Let's go.
I never knew I needed Spike Vegeta's Under the Sea in my life. We also have an anonymous $75 donation that says, go Ninten, thanks GDQ for another awesome event. We also have Pinky Oats with $5 saying, $5 hype train, next stop, Sephiroth Station. And an anonymous $200 donation that says, yeah, songs. I agree, the songs are good.
You can get 3. Come on, people.
We have Imaginary Incorporated with $50 saying 1 ticket for the $5 train and 9 more for some of those who can't afford to donate right now. We also have a $50 donation from Fogs that reads, the entire world needs to hear Saku's heavenly singing voice.
Yes! we got 2 lines. We need a whole song. Come on.
We also have a $25 donation from Rascal Man 500. Had to donate more during Kingdom Hearts 2 run and to go for the Sephiroth incentive. This was one of my favorite games of the PS2 era. Let's not be like Donald and actually provide relief to those who need it.
Hey, he's putting in work this run. Duck Flare's doing work.
Oh, yeah.
We also have $25 from Nux Tenma with Sakura vowed to sing if we hit this incentive. If there was a chance we wouldn't hit it before, there isn't now. We have $150 from the Sad Giraffe 53 that says, I spent countless hours as a kid trying and failing to beat Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. Let's work together to meet that incentive so Ninten can wipe the floor with him and give us all some much needed closure. And we have a $20 donation from Shaq News Aussie. I'm one of a lot of members of the gaming press who love Kingdom Hearts. And if there's anything we love more than Kingdom Hearts, it's Disney songs. Sing your hearts out for us and remind us that we're all in this together. Our friends are our power. As well as a $25 donation from JJ Schmidt 77. This is double bang for the buck. Spike sings and Sephiroth can't pass it up. Fantastic event. We also have a $160 donation from Ikoa. Yeah. Watching this run with my wife, Renee, my dearly beloved, and the best person possible to be isolated singing songs with. Thanks to everyone for putting this on and everyone who donates. Every dollar makes such a huge difference. It really does. It really does. We have a $50 donation from Ramen and Shelly. This is since my wife and I are some of the lucky few who are able to work while staying at home, we wanted to pay it forward. Please stay home, stay safe, and keep gaming. A huge thank you to all the people on the front lines doing their best to keep everything going. We couldn't do this without you.
I've already seen that incentive jump up about like $3,000 since the last time I looked at it. So
Nice.
we're all doing fantastically. Please, let's keep it going. We really want to see it. Probably fit in about 2 more real quick as we're getting ready to go to Twilight Town here.
Awesome. We have a $100 donation from Mist Master 1.
Yo,
Oh, what's up,
What did you
Miss?
miss?
Another Kingdom Hearts speedrunner. I'm so proud of how much you've advanced as a streamer and a speedrunner over the years, Ninten. You're rocking this run right now, and I know you'll carry it all the way to the end. Great runner, amazing commentary, and fantastic speed game. Let's get that level 1 Sephiroth incentive met for the sweetest finale possible. You got this.
Thank you so much, Miss. Shoutouts to Miss. He's amazing. He's like the best KH1 runner. Super fantastic dude.
definitely
One
part
of the ways
the-
I got into speedrunning, actually,
Yeah.
was Miss Master 1 and Biscuit047. So thank you so much for that. And thanks everybody for continuing those donations. I have seen wilder things happen. Please, I know we can do it. I know we can get that Sephiroth set up. It'll be such a great way to cap off what has already been a fantastic weekend. But we got a really cool fight here. This Mickey fight, you want Mickey to do basically nothing. You would prefer to just do it all with Genie. You can use Magnet here and use a natural kind of draw from Genie's attack in Master form in order to pull them into that Magnet, dealing extra chip damage and attack them, while also giving you more summon gauge. So even though he's been using Genie constantly, you can see that summon gauge just rapidly firing back up towards 4 and now 3. And just like that, keep going up even though it should have run out by now. That's just because of pulling them into the Magnet, dealing extra damage from a non-limit source. It's so good, and it lets you extend Genie's damage by quite a bit here. You're going to see that again still later in the run.
Yeah, there's very specific placement of where you want to put each of those magnets. If you go back and watch that fight, you can see right at the beginning, Ninten first kind of jumps back at the gate and throws up the magnet. It's all based on like weight classifications of enemies. Some get drawn in from further away. Some of them you need to be right on top of them, like the samurai he fought at the end. There's a lot of specific stuff going on in that fight, but beautifully done by Ninten. And now we're about to go from the Mickey fight into the next fight where we don't want the quote-unquote helping character to do anything, and that's Axel coming in. Little pre-Axel fight right here. Not much going on. Same combos we've been seeing.
Yeah, not too bad.
Magnet, finishing lead, reflect, all the good stuff. Baiting out a first attack with the vicinity break right there. I do love the fire right there that catches all of them in kind of the perfect way. Okay, but now we've got Axel. This fight is another very scary one where you can easily die. There are a bunch of assassins that pop up, and the assassins like to do different dive bombs, blow themselves up, and possibly take you with them. So we want to try to avoid that at all costs. So keeping them stun locked the entire time as they spawn into another magnet right there. Going into limit form just to refill your MP, drop back out of it. We're going to reflect coming out of the magnet, which will catch their initial attempts to try to blow up, and now just chain those together. Looking like they're going to have a fair amount of HP left. Yeah. Also those little slaps.
Okay, this is scary now.
You. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them did not get caught in those combos. Axel probably doing some bad work over there. Good work from his end, bad work from ours. Ninten doing what he can, has been good on his ether conservation throughout the run. one more right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Dude, I forgot for a moment.
Lost a little bit of time, but didn't lose the run. Good job.
I forgot for a moment I was commentating. I was just mesmerized watching how he was going to recover that.
You're just watching.
So scary. You could see when things start to go awry that it's suddenly very costly on ethers and time, but also can just lead to death. Now we're coming up to the best fight in the run, sickest strat here. We got the Roxas fight, cool little movement first leading up to it, and now we're not even going to try to tell you all the specifics that are going on here because there is way too much detail. But what we will say is that there is a magic number called revenge value in this game that every enemy, every boss has. Different types of attacks will cause different numbers to be added to that revenge value. And if you do everything just right, you can know exactly when enemies are going to retaliate and interrupt them with a mid-air reflect or with a limit explosion, a limit form explosion. So all of these different strats that you're seeing Ninten do all planned out perfectly and have very precise timing, very precise position manipulation in order to make sure that he could do all of this without ever getting DM'd or dying.
Okay.
Oh, hard fight though. Not too surprising to see that go that way, and now it'll just give us an even better attempt at it.
Yeah, I basically like mistimed by like maybe a few frames. I mistimed that Ars Arcanum in limit form. There's a lot of timing involved in this fight. Like if you mess up just a tiny bit, he can break out.
This time, we're just gonna let you bask in the magic of it. Let's pump that game volume.
Yeah. Defend. Take this. Defend. Give me the strength. Take this. Take this. This is it. Yeah. Back off. Take this. Defend. This is it. Yeah. Gather.
Beautiful fight.
Dude, the pop-off from Ninten is just a simple laugh. I like it. That is such a technical fight. I mean, you saw very barely mistimed anything and it immediately led to a death. It's just how it goes sometimes, and we cannot stress enough just how many different things are going on to perform that strat. Hopefully it's obvious enough to see from just thunder and reflect and everything else.
I got to give a shout outs. Honestly, if you want to understand just a little more about the depth in this game, you should follow Ninten's YouTube channel, just Ninten866. He made a video just about the Roxas fight itself that went over why the like 70 different things that are happening in it are very specific to getting the fight to go exactly how you want it to go. It's a super cool watch. It'll just take you a couple minutes. Go check that out after we finish donating here and raising money for direct relief and corona relief done quick.
We got some drive form usage here in spots that are intentionally going to put Ninten into anti-form. Now the reason is throughout the entire game, at various points Ninten's been building up anti-points, hidden mechanic in the game, and then resetting them back to 0. Well, right now those anti-points were maxed out. There were just so many anti-points that he was definitely going to get anti-form whenever he next used a drive form, that or final form. So he decided to use it twice there because that will bring down that number all the way back down to a safe level. And now he can continue to use drive forms throughout the rest of the game, like in this fight, which I can't remember if you use one in or not, but you're definitely gonna use Duck Flare, I can tell you that.
Yeah, we're gonna use Duck Flare, woohoo, when you want to kill things quickly. Duck Flare, woo. Okay, so he's gonna be waiting till that point in the fight. After he shoots 3 sets of lasers, that's gonna get Duck Flare up, and we're gonna be continuing the stun lock through a couple of horizontal slashes and then timing the end of the Duck Flare. He wants to get him to about 2.8 bars of health. See where he goes for here. Come in, try to fill in with fire, revert out of it, wait for him to do his 3 combos, see what he's going for, and then start the Duck Flare again. If all goes correctly, this should be the last time Zigbar gets to breathe. All right, starting up the end of the duck flare. Again, trying to just land, go into the aerial spirals, because those, for whatever reason, are just pumped in damage during duck flares. So it's better to do that than to go into like aerial finishes. So great job by Ninten there. First try on Xigbar. Very difficult fight.
That was super cool, but I gotta cut you off, Spike, because I saw that donation total jump up, and I know Sakura's got something for us.
Ooh.
Absolutely. We have a $7,500 donation from Fangamer. Says, hey everyone, Fangamer is proud to support an amazing streaming event like CRDQ. Thank you to all the streamers, hosts, and everyone else behind the scenes who put in a ton of work to make this event possible. This donation for direct relief comes from the sales from our new GDQ collection merch. We're putting this towards the level 1 crit Sephiroth incentive. We're almost there, guys. Get in those final donations so we can see it happen.
We can do it, everybody. I believe not too much longer in this run, the final run of the marathon. Let's end it out strong. Let's make a big push for that incentive. We got the Luck Sword fight, or Luke Sword fight, if you're to believe KH3.
I was about to say, as we found out last year, Cage.
Nah, it's Luck Sword.
Sword.
In any
It's
case,
Luck Sword.
we have this fight here now, which is it's a non-traditional fight. It's actually no health bars involved in this, except for Sora, because that's fair. But you have a time gauge.
Two different ways you can.
Yeah, you have a time gauge at the top instead, though, that you got to take out for Luck Sword. It works similarly to a health bar, but it'll also keep going down over time. So Ninten is looking for two different patterns that the boss can give him as long as he keeps him in a loop. He can either give him the minigame pattern, which we just got there, or the card pattern, which we got there. The game just wanted me to be able to explain both of them. Card, bad RNG. You're going to have to reflect those cards. You might get hit by him, and then suddenly you get other attacks like this one because the loop unfortunately drops. What you would like to see is that minigame attack every single time. That's this one here. He's going to actually not even use the minigame. He's going to reflect the damage that would be caused by not initiating the minigame and use that to keep him in this loop, keep attacking him and getting lots of damage very quickly. Now, if you get this fight, if you get that time gauge too low, Luxord's going to go into a desperation move, big attack, can't be hit, and Spike, we're not going to even try to see that, are we?
No, we would ideally like to skip it altogether. We'll have to see exactly where his time gauge ends up at. Looks like we're going to be going for the DM skip right here. Popping that ether up in the air right before using your first Ars Arcanum as Sora. That actually allows you to use one of your limits, and then as the ether lands, it will then refill the MP bar so you can extend this into 3 as you want. All right, now dropping out of it, using a couple of 1-2 combos, trying to keep this stun lock on.
Oh, he did it.
Baiting it out. What a beautiful bait and switch by Ninten right there. I was like, oh, is he going to do it? He knew what that revenge value was going to pop up. I didn't know, but he knew. And that's all that's important, because allowed him to kill him without seeing the DM. Saved himself a cool 10 seconds right there.
Man, that's a cool one. Like, and especially if you go for the DM skip and then get the DM, it would take even more time, I think. It's just,
yeah,
it's so rough. But such a cool skip to not even have to go into that at all. We're going to roll right into the next boss fight, though. Syx, he likes to shine the moon down on top of you, but, you know, it's daylight. Not right now, really, for me, but it's daylight somewhere, so we're going to fight back. And he's going to be doing that by first popping the boss back to being vulnerable again, and now using Mega Duck Flare. You used to actually use Peter Pan in this fight. You might have seen that in the past if you've seen this run at GDQs or RPG Limit Break, but we got even faster strats with Duck Flare here. The reflects into Duck Flare, especially to kind of keep staggering that boss, keep dealing a lot of damage. That health bar, it drops rapidly. You have to let him break out in specific spots, though, otherwise. Yeah, otherwise this happens. He'll end up into this DM. Can't do any damage right now, and it's a little bit scary. But luckily, that actually wasn't the super long one. So luckily, he can hopefully recover, put this back into a loop.
I just did it for the swag right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, back up so we can go infinity.
So good.
God, that's so good.
Just watching that health bar drain.
KH2FM is so good. I love limit form that they added. And it's great for speedrunners too. And again, it's the only form that doesn't actually have to remove any of your other party members, so you can use it in basically any fight in the game. As long as you're not on a carpet.
And Donald's with, oh no, sorry, you said limit form. I thought you said Duck Flare for a second. I was like, and Donald's with you, right? No, limit form, yeah, you can use it on your own. It's super cool.
taking both of Riku's ethers there. The only thing we're doing that menu, I believe the final menu of the run, and then using Wisdom Form here for just that little bit faster quick run. Again, we have quick run on base Sora, but still Wisdom Form's level 3 quick run is going to get us a lot more distance, save us good 3+ seconds here in this final climb up to Xemnas. But not the final Xemnas, like any other ending of the Kingdom Hearts. We got a gauntlet coming at us instead. Again, guys, we need to see those donations coming in. Again, we're going into Xemnas 1 first off. He's going to be running up the building. I have a couple of different reaction commands we could use.
Yeah, wait for him to kind of fall down this building and try to make sure that you just pick the right one. Basically, you got to time it between 3 different reaction commands, and then after that the damage is going to start coming in. The combos are going to start. He's going to, I believe, use the aerial combo variant here, which is something that is fast but also a little risky, because if your positioning and angle are off, you can knock the boss into a location that's not ideal. But looks pretty good for Ninten. Knocked him all the way down the stairs. Not going to have to deal with those at all. Now we have access to Slapshot, and you can use the reflect into Slapshot to attack quickly. It's just this little like hockey swing, little slap, and you can get all these extra reflects in because it counts as just a regular piece of magic in the combo. So you can throw one and use a Slapshot, so that way the damage applies from the first reflect, then get a second reflect in all the same. And you can also skip
that was on purpose.
Having to go up to the building again by knocking him up with limit form there with the explosion, and then hopefully deal all the rest of this health bar in just these combos.
Yeah, nice little movement right there so he doesn't get stuck. Good stuff. And that is because he finished the fight while in that limit form. Again, he's going to be given a full drive gauge refill going here into the final bosses.
He's got to first climb up to the door, of course. Walk on through.
I love that your inner hockey fan came out right there. It is like a quick
It's called Slapshot because it looks like a slap shot.
It is. Yeah. No, I just love that. I've never heard anyone actually call it a hockey move.
That's why it's called that.
No.
Yeah,
I was just like, that's
I got
perfect.
you.
I never really thought of that before.
Could destroy some buildings because
okay.
anime, and then move on to the building boss. Yep. This just big house of a thing with all these engines. But first, got to just run past some of these buildings. You actually can either slash them early, or you can run past a couple of them. It's going to actually opt for that first one. And then you can take out the 2 cores. There's going to be some usage of the master form as well, I believe. What exactly is going on in this upcoming fight, Spike?
Yeah, so right here, the first thing he's going to want to do is throw up a magnet, which will start knocking those little basic enemies into the core, into the cylinders. And then he wants to take Riku out and put Donald back into the party, because we're going to want to be utilizing Trinity Limit going into the next fight, the core fight, the final phase of like a big mob fight we're going to have to deal with. So taking out those enemies, we have just a little bit of MP left, just enough to use up one more magnet here. And then we'll be going into master form in order to utilize its magnet, which actually stays on screen like twice as long as the rest of it. Again, removing both of our party members. And this is nice. It'll get us our last couple of enemies that we have to knock into to break the left cylinder. And then we're going to be going into the core fight. Now, as we're dropping into the core, keep a hold of on the bottom of the screen. We're actually going to lock onto it and throw up a magnet. You'll actually move into the different enemy phases here based on how many hits you deal how quickly in this fight. So it actually deals a lot of hits very quickly. So here we are already with our first set of enemies. Throw up a magnet, throw up that Trinity, start the 2 hits from it, which completely refilled our drive gauge, get it refilled very quickly off of that, into the finisher, hopefully clearing out all these enemies. Now we want to throw an ether, get our MP recharging, and get Genie out here, because we're going to be using more of that Genie canceling right there, taking an intentional hit from that enemy, placing us perfectly to reflect into the air, throwing up a magnet into that master Genie form right there, fall down just a little bit more and take out the rest of the enemies. And just like that, all those enemies we're worried about, they did. And now as Genie gets despawned, we go into a Duck Flare. We're utilizing all our tools right here to take out this health bar as quickly as we can. And Duck Flare isn't enough. That's right. We're in a world where Duck Flare isn't enough. We're going into Valor form. It's back, and it's back with a vengeance, throwing on those finishers right right there. Massive AoE damage right there. Look at this spin. There goes a health bar.
It's so good, man. I just, oh man, the mob fights are sometimes more interesting than the boss fights, but the boss fights in their own right are interesting as well. We have Armored Xemnas 1, the first fight with him here, where in this one it's not too bad. He's not going to be throwing you back into space or anything like that, but you do still have to have lots of very precise reflect timing as well as some extra slap shots to keep those combos going. There is a little bit of RNG in which moves the boss will use. I believe Water Clones is not too bad of one. You can luckily deal with them pretty well, and then just make sure that you listen for when the boss is going to retaliate with that sweep of the sword, so that way you can reflect it, go into Duck Flare, and finish off the boss. Now with that, we're going to be going into a fight with Dragon Xemnas. We're going to fight him in the big house form, a big building form, as a dragon, because reasons. This is kind of an auto-scroller. It's not really. You get opportunities to speed up the attacks, but this seems like a good time to check in with Sakura on how we're doing on that incentive, because folks,
let's do it, everyone.
We are right at the end, and I saw it jump up. How we doing?
We have $14,250 still to go, so we're close, but we need another push. If we get everybody in chat to donate $5, if you can donate $5 for somebody else, then do that as well, because
we'll
definitely
get there.
Yeah,
I know it. We've already cut half of what we were at just like 10 minutes ago. We can do it. There's just a little bit of time left in this marathon, folks. You can make it happen right now. Now's the time to hit that donate button, and let's see it happen. Throw us a couple donations, Sakura.
Absolutely. We have a $25 donation from the Violet Fox that says, Duck Flare. Woo.
We got one more line out of it.
We also have a $500 donation from Matt183 that says, give us more singing. Stay safe, everyone. And a $500 donation from Sora that says, this should help.
It does. Thank you.
We also have a $20 donation from Mike that reads, wonderful job, everyone. Let's see if we can reach the Seth fight. And a donation from Casran that reads, a $75 donation from Casran that reads, here's 15 train cars. Next stop, Sephiroth. We also have a $500 donation from Sam Hopkins that says, let's do it. And a $500 donation from Adam W. with no comment. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, the number. It's going, people. Come on.
We can do it, I believe.
We have a $5 donation from Beach that reads $5 hype. And a $20 donation from Butter Chuckle that reads 4 donations to the $5 train. Choo choo, with most family members being in the medical field, including my wife being a medic. I love that this was set up to help get PPE to those that needed it. Let's social distance, hit that incentive, and most of all, stay safe in these times.
Okay, we're done with the dragon fight here. Remember, folks, if you want to be a part of this moment where we somehow manage to make this incentive met in just these last 2 boss fights, now's the time. You can do it. Armored Xemnas 2, Spike, go.
Yeah, Armored Xemnas 2, they were nice enough from the original to lower it from 4 phases to 3 right here. Mainly just kind of try to bait out his attacks, reflect what he's got. It's a little bit random when exactly he's going to have some of his attacks. You see Ninten already knowing when the phase is over. He's like, nah, I got this, man. He's diving out of the ship by himself. Now going to try to make his way over to a building, because there's nothing more metal than just knocking a building back at someone to get past their defenses and get in. Now he's actually throwing an aerial spiral right there, a very quick one into a glide that actually cancels a snowflake animation, a snowflake attack from him. That's what it is. So he can drop down and get in there even quicker. Again, utilizing these reflects whenever he can, breaking them up with stuff like blizzard and slap shots in order to make sure all the reflects come off. If you link them all together too quickly, you'll only get 1 there. Already Ninten's sitting there with 2 down and just, I don't even know, staying above all that with so many aerial dodges right there. Getting his second building.
I did that so that those buildings that came towards me were most likely not going to be in the position of the one I just RC'd. Or threw at him.
just noticed we're only 10,000 away, folks. You just like that raised $5,000 for direct relief. Let's keep going. Rest of Armored Xemnas 2 is kind of the same as before. He's just going to use some Reflex. Nice little ether there to make sure he's full up on that MP bar. And now the boss is finished off. We're going into our final boss here, everybody. Final Xemnas. And this one is a doozy, but hopefully we can get some awesome skips in here. There's both lasers and Riku. Are we going to see any of those, Spike?
Hopefully none of them. This is an absolutely gorgeous opening strat right here where he comes in to grab you. We ain't liking that. Social distancing, people. We're reflecting all of these attacks right back at him. These are very specifically placed reflects, knowing when it's actually going to catch damage on the real Xemnas and not the clone we've got right there. And now he's going to drop down, wait for him to get a little close. We're sitting there at 1 HP. All right, throwing health. It's okay. Riku's the best Donald we could ever have as far as a white mage is going. Ooh, another little bit of damage. Gonna try to get in close for one of Riku's sessions. Potentially go in for a limit right here. Whew! Yeah. It is scary to just sit in there and wait for that. All right, we need to just actually cancel out of that now. We need to make sure he has just over 4 bars of health because this is the trigger point where he's going to start using his laser attacks. Now we're going to keep him stun locked and deal as much damage as possible. Going into limit form into Ars Arcanum, keeping him stun locked. So as you can see, he went from that 4-bar limit we were looking at right there, now down to already 2.5. Going in, popping that ether, popping one more ether, reflecting immediately the attack he knows he's going to throw out into the final set of reversals into reflecting even more. If he's not extremely quick with that, Xemnas can kill him in one shot if he doesn't have the MP. With that, and that is it. We are going into the final cutscene, ladies and gentlemen. You have got just over a minute of a cutscene until Xemnas is dead.
Yeah, I've been making such a huge push now too. We're only $5,000 away. Oh wow! I can't believe it. You are all incredible.
It's crazy.
Please keep it going. Donate $1 for every mash of Reflect that you're seeing here from Ninten. Every single button press. I don't know, whatever it takes here. We are close, and I'm not going to tell Ninten to intentionally die, but give us more time. No, we have a little bit of a cutscene right as all of these lasers are done. There's only one input left in the game. He just has to kill the final boss and take him out with Thunder. But man, with that, what a great run, Ninten. Only one death. That is
that wasn't bad at all. I did most things correctly too. Just a few really, really hard strats got me.
Yeah, I don't even know if like any boss DM'd you. I'm trying to think about it. Like some mob fights went a little awry occasionally, but I don't think anything really.
No, I'm really happy with that. That was good.
Out of curiosity, what's your PB, Ninten / world record?
It's a 251.48. But we I think the timer is off because of the technical difficulties earlier.
A little bit, yeah. Because we had to pause and miss maybe some of that going mission. But regardless, it's still pretty close.
Regardless, I don't care. This is insane.
A low run. Get ready on time. There it is. Time. A little slow.
I don't know what my time was. What was it?
Based on the timer we have, which again, it's going to be just a little off because of those technical difficulties and everything. It's looking like 2:52.
Oh wow, okay.
2.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Wow.
Wow.
About to say, with the Rox's death.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable performance by Ninten. Oh my god.
Even if you had to add like 60 seconds, which is way more than you would actually have to add, but even if you did, that would still be a fantastic run.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm happy with that.
Oh my goodness, I'm looking at the screen right now. Sakura, do you have an update for
We
us?
are $200 off.
Oh my god.
Sorry, actually, I'm getting an extra update. We have met it.
Oh, we met it.
75,000. The layout didn't even have time to update to see it get met.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Can we get 400,000?
I bet we can. I bet people can keep pushing.
We're that close now. Let's
There
do
it
it.
is, yeah.
Come on.
Updated to 76,285 out of 75,000.
That's crazy. Thank you guys so much for donating the Sephiroth incentive. I put a lot of hours into practicing this fight, so I'm really happy I can show it.
Dude, what if we were hardcore and we were just like, oh, well, we're $200 short. All right, bye. And cut the stream immediately.
No final words.
Thanks for the money. See ya.
Yeah, no final words, nothing. But in the meantime, Ninten's going to be loading up a save here to get to that level 1 Sephiroth. And I think there was another thing tied on. We're not letting you off the hook before we start.
Oh, darn, I thought everybody forgot.
Oh, we did not forget. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, there is one more incentive. I guess I'm singing part of your world.
Yeah,
Oh.
whenever you're ready, I'm sure Ninten would not mind waiting to start the boss.
Cool.
Okay,
All
I'll
right.
wait.
Then let's go. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you think, sure, he's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see 'em dancing, walking around on those, what do you call 'em? Oh, feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land, they understand, but they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand. And I'm ready to know what the people know. Ask 'em my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's it my turn? When I love to explore the shore up above, out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that world.
Wow.
That was
Puts
awesome.
us all to shame. Oh, no.
Oh my goodness. I am glad I went before
Yeah.
that. All right.
Oh, wow.
All right. Villain. I know, I always wanted to go there. I was like, Kingdom Hearts 3, we'll definitely go. Oh. Okay. So this is Sephiroth. Yeah, I was about to say, with level, again, critical mode still, but we're fighting with level 1, and that is the baby blade. It's it's the Keyblade. Oh my God. Immediately, so that is instead of using the reaction command there, just rolling backwards through it and having the iframe start, very tight animation right there. And gonna be utilizing Explosion actually right there, a different ground finisher that we didn't get to see throughout the regular run, locked away in a different world.
Explosion you generally have to pick up, I believe, from Space Paranoids 2, so somewhere you would absolutely never go in an 90% run, but it's also going to be attacking or guarding to just start getting into those invulnerability frames, just deflect the boss and then use Reflect right as he's going to finish in order to hit him with the damage of it. Also has to watch out for all of the attacks that Sephiroth can use, which are random that he likes to pick. There are a couple different phases where he'll know now he's into the orb phase, so he can reflect those with the reflect skill, the reflect magic, and then move into limit form in order to deal a lot of damage with infinity here as well. Just going to do some more reflects. He had to make sure he got full up on MP as well in order to be able to do that. Just more explosion, dealing a lot of damage. Now, that is an attack that everybody who's played this game is super familiar with because it will take away all of your magic and put you at 1 HP. So you really want to make sure you hit him before that happens. Immediately reacting to the, not Omni Slash, but whatever his version of it is. It's ridiculous.
Sure, yeah.
All the moves that you have to worry about in this fight.
4 of those. That is disgusting.
Every one of those dodge rolls is so well timed. Just flying on over, you can see the utilization of both aerial dodge, high jump, and a little bit of the super glide as well. Now he's powering up going into the last phase here, so he can try to time that combo, knock him out of his next attack, then back up because, wow, Sephiroth will dash around pretty wildly here. Stops himself from getting knocked up. He's gonna wait until these fire pillars are just about done and then actually use the solo trinity to jump onto Sephiroth, deal some more damage, and more importantly, stagger him out of starting another attack here. Go back into limit form. It's gonna let him get some extra damage as well as refill that MP, so that way he can use spells or limits like Infinity.
That's enough.
Dealing a lot of damage, popping back out though.
A full bar of Final Blaze.
Unbelievable.
Like it's nothing. Final bar of health right
There's
here.
a big meteor attack. We'd love to see him be able to skip. He's doing so well at it right now. All of the aerial slashes there. Now the Infinity finish. Oh, unbelievable.
The no damage level 1 Kingdom Key. That was no damage. 0 damage needed.
No damage. First try alone is already like, that's 1 bar of impressive, right? You could easily take more than 1 try in that in a showcase like this, level 1 Kingdom Key. Then to just do it no damage and get the DM skip like it's nothing, like get the meteor skip, just unbelievable. Ninten, a legend at Kingdom Hearts 2, and if that didn't sell it, I don't know what will.
Yeah, definitely recommend. Just want to give a big shout out to, again, runners like Mistmaster as well, who I believe is also doing crit runs right now. Crispy Me, really a legend of the Data Org fights that people know about here in KH2 FM. Tons of great Kingdom Hearts speedrunners out there. First and foremost, make sure you do give a follow to Ninten866, you just watched on stream. Just put on an absolute clinic here in one of my absolute favorite speed games. So give him a follow. And yeah.
Thanks for having us on, Ninten.
Having me, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say any final words, and there you go.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be at a finale. It's like amazing. I did not expect that.
I think that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for
cool.
a fantastic event. As somebody who actually worked tech for this event, really appreciate all the love and support and all the donations everybody's been sending in. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for us on the finale here. Sakura can take us out.
Cool.